7-point Wolverine advantage. Last 2:30. Pull up from the wing is off iron. Raymar's got it back. Another offensive rebound. Tommy, timeout.
He wants to get organized, make sure his team gets a good look. He'll devise a set play. Michigan State has been impressive. High marks coming out of timeouts.
You know, regardless of what happens, tonight's man of the match clearly is Dion Harris, the 6'3" senior guard from just down the road here in Detroit. He carried the scoring load for the Wolverines. They hit several huge three-point hoops, and he is our Hooters player of the game.
Won't be surprised if he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Dion Harris, 85% on the season from the charity stripe. So with the clock running down late game, he needs to get touches.
He has been a hoot tonight, and it's 63-56 with 2:12 to go. And Michigan State has not scored in the last 3 minutes of this game. High screen. Raymar passed up the shot. Suton outside. Misfires again. And Sims did the job. Sealed it up. 2 minutes now for the Wolverines.
All about time and score and situations. Coach Amaker wants to talk about exactly that with his troops.
Let's check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Brent, Super Tuesday will continue on Rocky Top. Florida and Tennessee going to tip off at 8 minutes after the hour. That Summit's promised something special. We're all eagerly awaiting to see what it'll be.
And here, 63-56, the Wolverines are hoping to close out with a much-needed win for their NCAA tournament resume. And there, of course, at the women's game, that was Coach Pearl with the body paint. Now here tonight, the Maize and Blue hoping to hold on against rival Michigan State.
Had a chance to watch the preparation yesterday, and we got to give assistant coach Andy Moore, Tommy Amaker's assistant in charge of scouting for the Wolverines, has done an excellent job here tonight, and to Coach Amaker, having his team ready to play against this hot Spartan team, and have performed well. Now it's just closing out the ball game. Can't ask for a better situation. Up 7 with 1:55 to play.
Michigan State's helped them here, Steve. They've missed their last 5 shots now, and Wolverines bring a little time down. And Marquise Gray jumps out on Petway.
I like that last time out by Coach Amaker to ensure that his team gets organized, give themselves a chance to put touches on the ball, and therefore give yourself a chance to get to the foul line. Double bonus from here on out. 2 free throws every time you're fouled.
Saturday, the Big Ten champion Ohio State Buckeyes pay a visit here. And Ohio State, you know, it's a triple crown season really for the Buckeyes. First time in history that one school has won the title in football, men's and women's basketball. And so they've had a great run, haven't they? And the Wolverines with 1:43. They've got the ball.
What a break for the Wolverines. They missed 2 free throws. And still get the ball back.
And Suton heads over to the sideline after that whistle.
Brent, if Michigan State loses this game, they go to 1-7 in true road games this year. So that is still the hurdle that the Spartans haven't been able to overcome. 1-6 in Big Ten play, 1-7 overall with that loss at Boston College. So learning how to win on the road, the next step in the development of Michigan State.
And they have a tough game coming up on Saturday on ESPN Saturday morning. Michigan State goes to Wisconsin. And so all of the In Wisconsin, they are in a battle. They are all in a danger zone. They all need to keep winning.
I think safe to say 5 are in.
But we just don't know which 5.
Exactly. That bottom 3 there in particular, you look at Purdue, Michigan, and Iowa, those 3 trying to fight for that 6th spot.
Well, let's just play, what if? Let's say the Spartans lose here tonight, lose in Madison, and then somehow get shocked in the Big Ten tournament. They are definitely not safe in this. Nobody is safe after the Big Two. You've got to keep winning games. That's the name of the game. Certainly 5 or perhaps 6 are going to make it when the dust settles.
So basically you're saying a lot of these coaches are going to lose sleep down the stretch. They're staring wide-eyed at the ceiling coming down the stretch of the Big Ten. A lot of Alka-Seltzer.
It's the way it ought to be. The 3. And the air ball, and now a minute and a half to go. And the Wolverines are in command here in the Big Ten. SEC action's coming up next. Florida and Tennessee.
Wisely, the Wolverines keep the ball in Deion Harris's hand like a Marcus Haynes as he dribbles and weaves in and out of the Spartan defenders. An 85% free throw shooter. Good coaching maneuver by Tommy Amaker. Of course, Lester Abrams going to step to the line because Harris gave it up. Didn't want to get the 5-second count. What an inspired effort. Clearly a sense of urgency in the upperclassmen of the Wolverines. Take a look at these numbers. That is stepping up to the plate in crunch time. Trying to use a couple other sports cliches here, Brent. We got to get our quota in for the game, We're running low on it.
Nice double-digit cushion here. Coming to the last minute. They'll try to protect against the long-range bombers. Izzo, huddle them up.
We talked about it at the outset, Brent. Would the Spartans be able to sustain the level of intensity, emotion, and execution they've shown in these last 4 big wins in conference play? And clearly tonight, between Drew Neitzel not being at full strength and the inspired play of the Wolverines.
Let's take a look at the RPI of our teams in the Big Ten that we've been talking about. Now, the Spartans, you would think, with that 15, but as Steve told you, they haven't been able to get the job done on the road against anybody. And there you can see where the Wolverines are.
It's these 3, Brent, right here, I believe. Purdue, Michigan, Iowa. I like Purdue's chances because they've beaten Virginia, who's near the top of the ACC. They've beaten DePaul, who's under consideration out of the Big East. They've beaten Missouri. They've beaten Oklahoma out of power conferences. And then they've done well down the stretch in league play where your last 10 is so important. But the real story is the Big Ten has helped themselves so much in the month of February. You talk about teams closing hard. This is an example of a conference finishing so strong.
Neitzel looking for shooting range. They block Raymar Morgan.
Blocked by Courtney Sims. Responding to the earful he received from Coach Amaker in that timeout earlier here in the second half. High marks for Coach Amaker.
The Michigan Wolverines win a big one against Michigan State. And they will await the Big Ten champion Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturday afternoon. Spartan basketball with 14 seconds to go. We'll close it out and quickly head down SEC way. You'll watch Florida, Tennessee coming up next here.
The suspense. Pat Summitt. I'm going home to watch.
And the Gators jump out 3-0. Just got underway. Probably a 3 to open the game there in Knoxville. Michigan State was held without a field goal over the final 5 minutes and 9 seconds. Tommy Amaker gets a big lift here in Ann Arbor. 67-56. Florida, Tennessee is up next. We'll have post-game coverage of Michigan State, Michigan on ESPN News. For Aaron Andrews, Steve Lavin, I'm Brent Musburger. So long, everybody.
So just underway, a little over a minute in. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, and Heather Cox in Knoxville, where the Florida Gators, on an opening three-pointer by Torian Green, have the lead here in the early going.
And that's big news for your Gator fans. He was really struggling. He and Humphrey in that last game. They didn't score until the 4-minute mark against LSU.
Chisholm from the outside. And the big guy's not afraid to shoot out there, Dick.
They can flat out shoot the three. They really utilize the three so effectively. They average about 9 made a game.
That's right. Third most in school history. They've got 262 on the season. Noah, the kick out. Here's Humphrey for three, the local product. And the rebound comes off to Horford.
Humphrey has really struggled against Tennessee. I think he presses. He comes here and he really wants to impress.
This is his hometown. His hometown is basically out by the Knoxville airport. Maryville, Tennessee is maybe 15 minutes from this arena, if that much. Chisholm with a block on Noah. Now inside on the pass to Horford and rejected by Chisholm again.
I think they got a foul on the play. Chisholm's a good-looking young player.
He's getting better every week too, Dick.
Yeah, they say that he is getting better. Very active. Their freshmen are outstanding.
Jawan Smith picks up the foul on the inside. There's the SEC East standings. Florida, of course, is the SEC regular season champion. Tennessee. Horford at the free throw line, buries it. Tennessee can improve its lot not only with the NCAA but with the SEC tournament just around the corner in a little over a week in Atlanta. There's Bruce Pearl. He's done a marvelous job with his program in just his second year.
He's really provided so much energy. I think they're automatically in. I went to the VBDI before I came here. I said, Vitale,
yeah, that thing.
Ball Dome Index, and it said Tennessee is a lock. They're in. Wins over Texas, Oklahoma State when they were playing well in Memphis.
Here's a steal by Brewer going coast to coast with a reverse slam.
I love him. He makes my all-SEC team. He's multidimensional. He defends really well. He's long, lean, very active.
He's a terrible matchup for just about any team they play. A guy at 6'9" that can do what he just did there.
I think they're an angry team tonight.
I do too.
I don't know why. Watching them in the warm-up, they look like an angry team.
They were pretty focused, and that's what it appears they've lost in the last 3 games. A little bit of focus after winning the SEC title.
I think that's really natural. You know, you get that little strut, you get cocky, you cut the nets down.
Chisholm on a beautiful pass from Lofton.
I'll tell you, Lofton with the great look. I really like Chisholm. I liked him in the warm-up. He's athletic. He really is a kid. His upside is unbelievable.
And he picks up the foul on the other end. Chisholm with his first foul. But check this on Lofton, just that push pass, beautiful to Chisholm.
Nice bounce pass, great screen and roll. Releases, goes to the goal, very athletic.
Chisholm in the first game this year had his career high against the Gators, 19 points to go with 6 rebounds, and here he is off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the local writers, Mike Griffin. He said that since that game, his confidence has really been elevated.
Corey Brewer will inbound for the Gators.
Well, you're 100% accurate what you said earlier about what Bruce Pearl has done. His energy, his enthusiasm.
He's got some right now, too.
I'll tell you one thing, he's a fighter. He's worked his way up. Tom Davis down at Stanford, Boston College. Did a great job at the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee.
3 NCAA appearances there, including a Sweet 16. And part of the reason for that last foul is Dane Bradshaw, the only senior on this team who was honored before the game. He's always got to pick up a guy about 8 inches taller than he is. In tonight's ball game, Horford is the guy that he's guarding right now, and Dane's only 6'4". And here the tip in goes underneath.
I'll tell you one thing, they're so athletic when you look at Tennessee. 15 and zip on this floor. Have not lost at home.
28-2 in the last 2 years at Thompson Bowling Arena.
That's Pearl's magic.
It sure is, and this is as big a crowd as I think I've ever seen for a men's game here. I'm not so sure this won't be a record. Torian Green inside, and an offensive foul on Green.
He was out of control. You cannot go to the rack like that, flying up in the air. I'll tell you one thing, orange everywhere we go. This place has been fired up. I've been here since 5:30. Look at this drive right here. He's out of control, up in the air, easy call.
And so Tennessee, after trailing by 4, scores 4 straight, has the ball back with an opportunity to lead for the first time tonight. And Green will sit.
Good being with you again, buddy.
Good to see you, partner.
Yeah. EA Sports last time we hooked up. The college basketball game.
Yeah, there's a lot of people around the country wishing they didn't have to listen to our voice when their kids are playing that all day long. On the low block, Duke Cruz. Battle for the rebound. Childress going to the floor for it, and still up in the air, and a foul. I think it's going to be on Chris Richard down low. Heather Cox is the third member of our broadcast team. Heather?
Well, guys, tonight's the night for retribution. We all saw the footage of Bruce Pearl and what he did with the women's program when they played Duke, painting his chest with the V. Well, tonight it's all about Pat Summitt, and I was just backstage with her, and boy, does she have a surprise. In fact, she told me she's more nervous right now than she thinks she was before the national championship game.
Well,
I won't give away any secrets, but let's tell you this. The last time she did something like this, she was in 8th grade.
oh boy.
Wow, Heather, that was only about 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, you're
and
giving Pat some love
940
there.
wins ago. 940 wins. Wow.
Tennessee leads for the first time tonight.
Full court pressure. They forced 50 turnovers in the last 2 games.
And they forced another one there.
Last 2 games, 26 and 24 against Arkansas and Alabama.
This was the scene a little over a month ago. Bruce Pearl coming down as the V in Vols to show his support for Coach Summitt. And she's about ready to reciprocate as now Childress on the inside with a basket to extend the lead and one.
This place is so pumped up. There's the kiss for Mr. Pearl. What an amazing achievement, a record she has. And Pat Summitt, she's going to go way over the 1,000 mark in her career.
And has another great team again this year. Childress, who's really put some quality minutes on the floor in recent games. Look at the his own miss and throws it down.
That's just pure out hustling. And look at the full court trap.
5-point lead now.
Florida better have their A game on tonight, Brad.
9 straight points for Tennessee. Richard asks for it down low, kicks it back out to Brewer. And now the baseline jumper in the 3, and that'll quiet the crowd down a little bit as Walter Hodge hits the 3.
Hodge can give him that kind of offense off the bench.
Here's Tab on a reverse layup.
Nice drive on the baseline. Nobody rotated over on top.
Brewer ahead to Richard, and now it's fast-paced action up and down the court. Whistle and a foul underneath is going to be on Josh Tab. And our first time out of the ball game has Tennessee in front. Normally we'd send you away, but we've got something special that we don't want you to miss that Heather was just talking about. And so as the Tennessee cheerleaders are huddled around something and someone as they bring it out to midcourt.
Oh, I see her. Here comes. Oh, we got another cheerleader, Brad.
So it's about time for payback for Coach Pearl.
We got another cheerleader.
And there she is.
Ain't no smoggy,
Let's listen in.
no Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Rocky Top, Tennessee.
I've known her 16 years. I never, ever thought I'd see her look like that.
Coach Summitt will lead the ball.
I think it's terrific.
Side of the arena.
That's really the definition of school spirit.
And you got the hat.
I got
That's
the
not
hat.
fair.
That's really the definition of school spirit. Watching certainly Bruce in that game when the ladies played and watching her tonight, I think it's phenomenal. They love their school, they love their teams, and they're not afraid to show that the game makes a little kid out of you, Brad. I know I'm 67, I act about 12.
Phil Fulmer looking out as if to say, Coach, you can come out to a football game and kneel in anytime you want to. So Coach Summitt has given the payback to Coach Pearl.
She's not done
And
yet.
she's not done.
She's not done yet.
Oh, boy.
Oh, don't get hurt up there.
Don't throw a knee out,
Don't get
Coach.
hurt up there, Coach.
54 years young, 940 wins. She's up and she makes a V.
Wow, only 54. She's got about another 300 wins in her. She got about another 300 wins.
That was some kind of scene, wasn't it?
Phenomenal. I think that's fantastic. That's why college sports, to me, ranks as number one. The pageantry, the spirit, the enthusiasm, the excitement. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You haven't seen Dick Vitale yet tonight. Now you see him in all his glory. How about that? I mean, he's got it. He's got the hat. He's got the whole thing going on. It's Rocky Top. It's Tennessee. And it's Florida. And it's 14-10 right now. And Heather's with Coach Summit, I believe. Heather?
Coach Summit, I don't think any of us have ever seen anything like that. It's been since 8th grade since you were a cheerleader. Is it like riding a bike?
Well, my cheerleading days are over, but I did this for Bruce Pearl and for his basketball team and for all the great volunteer fans.
Now tonight fans saw Pat Summit they've never seen before. Which image is more like the real you, the cheerleader we saw or the stare that you're famous for?
Well, I have to say it has to be the coach, but this was fun. I'm glad my staff joined in.
Speaking of work and coaching, you guys are undefeated in the SEC, getting set for the SEC tournament. Is this team ready to roll?
I hope so, Heather. We've worked hard, and we're excited about it.
Coach, thanks for giving us a moment we'll never forget.
I don't think any of us will.
I think Billy Donovan would like to forget this moment, so let's get on and play some basketball. Let's get out.
We are at the Summit, and she's taken her team to the Summit so many times and put so many national championship banners in the rafters here at Thompson Bowling Arena. And now, unlike the old days sometimes when the men's game would have 10,000 people and the women's game would have 23, I don't think there's an empty seat in this place tonight.
There's over 24,000. I'll tell you one thing, it's called the Summit. I will guarantee you before his tenure's up at Florida, Mr. Foley will do something to name that place after Mr. Donovan because he is going to put incredible numbers while he's there in Florida.
Well, a 2-point lead now after Chris Richard knocks down both free throws.
Richard's one of those real strong physical guys off the bench. Could start for a lot of schools in America. But that's why you win national championships, because you have people you can bring in off the bench.
Howell in the backcourt now along with Juwan Smith. Howell, a good three-point shooter. And almost had it stolen by Green. Green with a little shove there, and the officials don't call a foul. They leave that one alone.
You know, you look at the Vols, the reason I say they were in bad, they beat Texas this year. They beat Memphis by 18. Memphis got one heck of a team, John Calipari, dominating certainly their conference. They beat Texas. They beat Vandy. They got some quality wins.
I did the Texas game and the Memphis game. Joakim Noah smacks it against the board.
That's what he does really well. Block shots, he passes well.
Humphrey for three, and he buries it, and he gives Florida the lead back.
That is really big for Florida. If they can get Humphrey going along with Green from the perimeter, it makes their inside players that much more effective.
His 251st career three-pointer. His mom and dad are sitting about 10 feet from us here in row one because, again, his hometown is basically the suburb right up by the Knoxville airport.
I was teasing the parents, how'd you get great seats like that?
They got good friends in town here. Guys that they actually played ball with, or his dad Tony played ball with when he was in high school.
He was not offered a scholarship here by Tennessee.
Juwan Smith high off the glass, and he's become very adept at doing that in the tall traffic, going up high on the window. And he gives Tennessee the lead back, and Florida turns it over again. As Dick said, right now Tennessee is forcing 19 turnovers a game. They forced Arkansas into 24 on Saturday.
And 26 against Alabama, 50 in the last two games. And they do a great job of forcing turnovers on the inbounds of the basketball.
Here's what Dick's been talking about on the inbounds plays. Little heat check for Juwan Smith on the outside, and a whistle and a foul on Chisholm, and they're going to have to be careful. Bruce Pearl's going to probably have to get him out of there. That's two quick ones on Chisholm, and he's their big man on the inside. He might be a freshman, but he's playing more like a sophomore or junior.
I'll tell you one thing, they don't hesitate shooting the three.
Nope.
I mean, they live by that three.
And anybody will take it too, Dick.
Yes,
they don't
sir.
care who it is.
Let the big people step out. And that's really what fans love, too, the exciting style of play.
Well, the #1 and #2 scoring teams in the SEC are here tonight. Tennessee's #1 at 80 a game. Just under 80 is Florida. Here's Horford on the inside.
I love Horford. I think he just gets better and better. Doesn't get the notoriety that Noah does, but Horford is one tough inside player.
Here's Bradshaw backing in on Noah. Up and under for Dane Bradshaw.
He's a heart of a champion. He's one of those guys. SI picked them as their all-blue team, and I can understand why. Look at him battling Noah inside physically.
I said he's always got to guard a guy that's 6 or 7 inches taller than he is because he was recruited as a point guard here, and he's played every position but at Tennessee.
See, Noah's got to get a little more aggressive offensively. He only took 4 shots against LSU.
Exactly. He scored 4 points on 2 out of 4 shooting. Inside, nobody cuts off Ramar Smith.
Nobody rotated over. I'll tell you, Ramar Smith has got great speed and a terrific reputation coming out of Detroit. Played for Benny White, who I happen to know.
Three-pointer doesn't go, and it's Bradshaw again with excellent position for the rebound.
Played at Martin Luther King High School in Detroit.
Ramar Smith, as far as league games and SEC freshmen, the #2 scorer, #1 in assists, and #1 in steals if you just talk about SEC games. And Dick, they came so far. When Chris Lofton missed 4 games, Ramar and Juwan Smith had to grow up, and so did the rest of the team, and now they're deeper and they're better. Of course, they lost 3 or 4 when he was out of there, but it helped them in the long run.
Then there's no doubt these kids had to really step up, and even though they lost those games, they got game experience.
Here's Cruz inside, Cruz into the hole.
I'll tell you, those freshmen are really good. The C&C gang, C squared, Chisholm and Cruz, very
18
active.
points in the paint already.
I love their style of play. Florida is not playing aggressive defense. And Chris Richard and some of their players have commented about, we are not playing with the intensity and the emotion we have to play defensively.
And a whistle and a hand check foul is going to be on Juwan Smith.
You know, they get everybody's best hit, Joe. Billy Donovan has built such a program that everywhere they go, they'll get everybody's A game because they bring in that national championship title and everybody steps up against them.
Of course, a title game in 2000, then a national championship game last year. They started 17-0 last year. As Dick said, they hit a little bit of a rocky spot about the same time as right now. Then they ripped off 11 straight to win the national title.
Yeah, they lost 3 in a row to Tennessee, Alabama, and Arkansas at this time last year. They're really aggressive tonight looking at Tennessee.
Horford, nice drive. Didn't finish. Chris Lofton with a rebound. Looking to run. Oh, what a pass to Cruz. And a block by Horford.
I'm going to tell you this right now about Lofton. That kid is not just a flat-out long-range shooter. He's improved his handle. I cannot believe they didn't recruit him at Kentucky. How did they let him get out of Kentucky, Brad? Will you tell me that?
Out of Maysville, Kentucky. And here in Rocky Top, kind of a rocky entry to the big V there for Coach Summit. Tennessee by 5.
Gravity will propel this Lexus IS over 4,000 feet in a matter of seconds. This Lexus IS will attempt to cover the same distance even faster. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. So much for gravity. Attractive leases available on all 2007 IS models for a limited time at your Lexus dealer.
I really like the supersonic breakfast burrito. Eggs, sausage, cheese, tomatoes.
I feel a little bit bad about eating it, though. It makes Charlie go away.
Who's Charlie?
My grumbling stomach. Yeah. He's a good dude.
Well, why don't you just wait till you're hungry again, then you can talk to him then.
I'm not gonna be hungry for a long time.
Sorry, Charlie.
Supersonic Breakfast Burrito. Only at Sonic. It's everything good about breakfast, wrapped up to go. Try one today with a refreshing cranberry juice because Sonic is your ultimate drink stop.
I can feel a change a-coming, start anew. Change, change, a change will do you good.
Michelob Light, crafted with noble European aroma hops. For a full-flavored light beer as distinctive as the bottle itself. Michelob Light, distinct by design.
If these walls could talk, they'd speak of extraordinary athletes who play on both sides of the ball. True warriors who launch vicious attacks and impenetrable defenses. They'd tell you about men who can fly. They'd tell you that football doesn't end in February. It's just beginning. If these walls could talk, they'd say you have to see it to believe it. Russell Athletic ESPN Arena Football begins Sunday at 12:30 on ABC and continues all season long on ESPN2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Lexus and their passionate pursuit of perfection. And in part by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Beautiful day and night in Knoxville, Tennessee. Our Super Tuesday presented by Lexus as Tennessee here at Thompson Bowling Arena in the first 8.5 minutes, leading by 5 over the defending national champion and 4th-ranked Florida Gators. Packed house. Championship week buzz, 89 men's and women's games, 34 championships, every ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Classic games available on ESPN 360. Can't believe it's already here. The SEC Women's Tournament, we saw Coach Summit, starts in Duluth, Georgia in about 2 days. And, of course, the men's tournaments begins a lot of them this weekend, and then the SEC and the ACC next week in Atlanta and down in your part of the country, Tampa, St. Pete, respectively.
Can't wait for that. I tell you, we're having a big party.
You're going to be able to sleep in your own bed, aren't you?
I know.
That's
it's
not
going to be really great. No, I may stay at a hotel.
Okay.
Just to be up there, have a little fun with everybody. But the ACC right there, they're really enjoying it.
Lorraine's going to love that. Good, I get him out of the house. 11.5 to Lofton hasn't had a chance yet. Now he does.
I'll tell you, he shot that with a hand right in his face. He would be my choice as player of the year in the conference. I don't think you saw the value of his team when he was out of the lineup. They lose 3 out of 4. He comes back. They win 5 out of 6.
He has a knack, Dick, even if he has to fade away a little bit, of being just an unbelievable shooter. That's his 293rd three-pointer in his career. And that's second all-time in the Tennessee record books to Allen Houston. Rebound comes off to Tennessee, and it's Tab on the run.
That was a pretty good play when you took Mr. Houston.
Great shooter. And inside, Cruz is fouled. Chris Lofton, 86 threes this year, had a school record 114 last year. And watch this contested shot, as Dick was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, look at the defense right in his face. I mean, they're right in his face, and he trains him. He trains him right in front of Lee Humphrey's mother and father. Right in front of him.
And their son, who had the hand in the face.
Hey, I'll tell you this. You know, I talked about the recent woes of the guards for Florida, and they're 2 really good guards, Taurean Green and Lee Humphrey. Humphrey, the last 3 games, 8 for 25. Taurean Green was 1 for 13 in the last 2 games. You can't win when your guards are not making shots like that.
Green hit his first one tonight, the opening basket of the ball game. He is Florida's leading scorer. They have basically 5 guys that are in double figures, even though it's 9.9 for Lee Humphrey, but Green is their leading scorer at 13 a game, and that just shows you how much they share the basketball, that your leading scorer would only be scoring 13 a game.
You know, I mentioned earlier about Kentucky not recruiting in a situation with Lofton. Many a times you get a commitment from guards. They got Rondo, they had Bradley, they had a lot of guards coming in with big-time reputations. Can't take everybody. In fairness to Tubby, really, you can't take everybody. And sometimes a gem just happens to happen. And wow, you say, wow, I can't believe it.
And he's out of Maysville, Kentucky. Well, we think that he's overtaken George Clooney as the most popular guy ever to come out of Maysville,
George
Kentucky.
Clooney, not a bad-looking guy.
Oh.
Wow.
Green out on top, 10 on the shot clock.
I haven't seen Florida in transition other than a steal by Brewer.
Corey Brewer got the front of the iron, and that's it. They didn't get a good shot there either. Nice job by the Tennessee defense. Lofton thought about a long shot, and Stanley drives and scores.
I'll tell you what I like about his game. He's added versatility. He came in with a reputation as just a shooter. Listen to this plays. Rocky Top. They're all going bananas here.
Chris Lofton on the drive the last time. An 11-point Tennessee lead midway through the first half.
Your office is now infected.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet Specials, you can fly to over 60 destinations nationwide for just $49 to $169.
You are now free to move about the country.
Let's talk about the Sonic drive to 65 and look at Tennessee's resume, Dick.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, they're in for sure. I don't give a damn. Look at those key losses. They lost to some quality teams. Almost had Ohio State beaten down at Ohio State.
Yep.
Played them really tough. Got beat by Butler in the NIT.
Those are actually quality losses more than key losses. You lose to those 3 teams is nothing to be ashamed of, that's for sure.
And then you take a look at the win over Memphis. Memphis has dominated this conference. Texas, really good basketball team.
And winning 5 of the last 6 always helps. The committee always looks at who's hot at the end. And right now, Florida's cold. That's the 5th turnover. And the 2nd time, Corey Brewer has tried to throw a pass to Joakim Noah and not been able to get it to him. Let's check in with Heather.
No surprise, Florida frustrated at the 6-0 Tennessee run. Billy Donovan, during the last timeout, talked about the way he wants to change his defense, specifically against the pick and roll, especially late in the shot clock. So, Dick, watch those big guys off the screens be much more aggressive.
Lofton trying to save it, throws it away.
Good point, Heather. I'll tell you this right now. Florida's just totally out of sync. They are really out of sync rhythm-wise, offensively and defensively. I think they lost their focus after they clinched the SEC championship. Billy's got to find a way to get them back focusing because they're too good, Brad. They're too good.
And Joakim Noah picks up the foul on another rebound by Dane Bradshaw, who had him out-positioned, if you want to put it that way. And Bradshaw got his third rebound, and Noah upset with his second foul.
I think he's upset with himself. He's too good a player. We saw it in the tournament last year, blocking shots, passing the ball. I mean, he could have possibly been the #1 choice in the NBA draft, but came back to school.
You got to give all the kids credit for coming back after winning the title.
I still like that tandem. He and Horford, when you talk inside play, one's physical, one is finesse. He passes, the other guy can score. This is not the Florida team I saw earlier.
Nope. Lofton with 5 on the shot clock. Bradshaw with bad shoulders, didn't want to shoot from the outside. Got a pass out, though. And shot clock expires. He keeps it alive.
That's what Bradshaw does. All those intentions. Look at him move the ball.
Extra pass, and the 3 goes for Jaron Smith.
What a great job of reversing the basketball. That is absolutely a coaching clinic on how to move the ball.
Green through traffic. Got it deep. Did get the pass out to Brewer. He misses the 3. Horford on the putback. And let's see if they're going to give him the basket. He's fouled, I think, before the shot. Let's wait and see. As we have a 30-30 with Reese Davis. Reese, what do you got?
All right, Brad, first, once again in baseball, Ron Santo not elected to the Hall of Fame. It's the 3rd straight year that the Veterans Committee did not elect one of the veterans to the Hall. 75% of the vote needed to get into Cooperstown. Santo got 70% of the vote. Earlier tonight in college basketball, Pittsburgh, trying to be the #1 seed in the Big East tournament, beats West Virginia by 14. LaVance Fields hitting the 3 there. Pittsburgh has Marquette this weekend. Sports Center after the game, ESPN News always.
Reese, keep us posted. It's 31-17. Tennessee by 14 on their home floor.
You know, I can't believe Ron Santo didn't get in the Hall of Fame. You talk about a guy that deserves it. Unbelievable. Been an all-star, Gold Glove winner. Really sad. I just can't believe it.
It is Super Tuesday here with Heather Cox. I'm Brad Nessler with my Hall of Fame finalist partner, Nick Vitale. Bounce pass to Cruz up and under.
I mean, look at the way he handles the ball.
So much for the defense on the pick and roll, huh? That Billy was talking about. And Heather was talking about.
They're not communicating. Nope. They're not communicating. You can't start feeling sorry for yourself.
Now that ends a 6-minute drought without a field goal. Chris Richard with authority with his first field goal.
If Florida's going to really get back, they have to get back defensively. They got to start making some stops. You know, all year they've been able to, this year, spot teams, the big leads.
Corey Brewer, who's so great at stealing the basketball, almost came up with a steal there, but dribbled it out of bounds. So it's going to be Tennessee ball following this timeout. 7:37 remaining in the first half. The great pass for the second time from Lofton to Cruz underneath.
Well, way back then, we had the horse and carriage.
There was no television then. People listen to the radio.
Get the clothes out, wash them on the washboard.
And then the calculators got smaller and smaller.
45 would drop, and it would play.
If you held the rabbit ears in exactly the right position.
I used to have to parallel park myself.
NBA on ESPN. Friday night doubleheader. First, Pistons, Heat, fierce rivals meet again. Detroit's in the driver's seat and looks like the team to beat in the East. But Shaq and the champs are out to prove they're still a force. Then, Tracy McGrady leads the Rockets against Iverson, Carmelo, and the Nuggets. NBA Friday night doubleheader on ESPN. Pistons, Heat, and Rockets Nuggets. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern.
Need a quick loan on your home? Call, click, or visit ORNL Federal Credit Union and ask for our Quick Close Home Equity Line of Credit. At the prime interest rate and no closing costs, it's a borrowing bargain. And it's fast. Apply and close the same day. Then use it over and over again whenever you need it. The Quick Close Home Equity Line of Credit. Only at East Tennessee's Community Credit Union, ORNL Federal Credit Union. Equal housing lender insured by NCUA.
This is Tim Duff for Earl Duff Subaru. After our last commercial, a lot of people asked me if a customer actually flew in from Indiana just to purchase from us. It's true, and since that time, we've sold cars to folks from Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio, and even Wyoming. At Earl Duff Subaru, our reputation has been built on providing the highest customer satisfaction. That's why our customers return again and again, and why we have won the Subaru Owner Loyalty Award every year it has been offered. Experience the difference for yourself. Shop with us at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman, and check our monthly specials at duffsubaru.com.
Dick, sometimes the extra pass really pays off.
I'll tell you, watch this, Brad. Watch the way they swing the ball. They reverse it. They do a great job with the extra pass. Watch this out here. How they reverse the basketball, loft it. Freeze it right there. And now he's going to bring the ball to the corner. Now watch him bring it to the corner with the extra pass. That's being unselfish. That really is what a star player is all about.
For the leading scorer in the conference, some of the assists he's had tonight have been as pretty as his scoring.
Well, look at this guy.
I don't know. It's early.
He's going to be vice president for me. He's going to be vice president. I look at some of the people running. Why can't I? I'll make you Secretary of State.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Digger, I'll ship him out of the country. Put him on one of my teams.
That's a good move.
No,
10 assists on 14 field goals for Tennessee, so they are really moving the ball well tonight. And here's Jawan Smith to the rack again.
You tell me where anybody's playing defense. I mean, that is Matador defense. There is nobody. This is the national championship team with 5 starters coming back. Embarrassing the way they're playing right now.
24 points in the paint right now, Dick, for Tennessee.
I feel bad for Billy Donovan. He and his staff, Larry Shyatt, they work so hard. And this team right now is not giving them that kind of effort.
Tennessee has given all the effort tonight so far. It'll be out of bounds to Florida.
I will say this for Florida, though. Slow starts. Down at 8 to Vandy.
18 to Alabama.
18 to Alabama. 11 at home to Vanderbilt. Came back and won by 10. 18 to Alabama. 1 by 9. Reese Davis was crying in the locker room that night when he found out about it. As an Alabama grad, I'm only teasing Reese.
Remember, Chris Lofton didn't play the first time these two teams played down at the O-Dome. And that was a big lopsided 94-78 job. But Tennessee wasn't as good at that point without him, and they're not as good with him. And here he is with a steal, and he goes in on Green and scores.
What a terrific layout. They are playing a magnificent first half.
18-point Tennessee lead.
Florida really, as I said, no rhythm offensively, no communication defensively, and no energy. Surprised us, too, because they looked really focused in the warm-up.
Yes, they did. And now they're totally out of sync. Tennessee is in sync big time. Here's Horford backing in and scores.
In the first matchup, Horford was absolutely brilliant. Had 22 points, 13 rebounds. Noah had 19. They had 41 between them and dominated Tennessee inside.
Wide opens Josh Tabb. He airmails it to the other side, though.
And they also had those great fans down in the Rowdy Reptiles, one of my favorite places. That crowd kept them going.
Corey Brewer got a nice move to the basket, but had it stripped out of there by Ramar Smith.
That's one of the great campuses in America when you go down to Gainesville.
No doubt. 5:50 remaining in the first half. Tennessee by 16. If you're just joining us, you're not seeing things.
National championship the same year when you talk about football and basketball. But it also happened in '98 right here in Tennessee. The women's team and Phil Fulmer's team.
Good point. Coach Fulmer is here tonight with one of his all-time great students of the game and the MVP of the Super Bowl. And Florida throws it away right about where they're sitting. 8 Florida turnover. There's the MVP and the man on campus, no matter where he goes.
How does he get a good seat like that?
I don't know. You know, when you got a street named over at the stadium for you, Peyton Manning, you can usually get in.
I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. They shared that title in '98 by beating Florida State. Top off a '98 season.
That wasn't Peyton. That was T. Martin.
Yep, T. Martin was the quarterback.
5.5 to go, first half. The crowd sort of catches its collective breath a little bit right now with the big lead.
I think they're kind of shocked that they're up this many.
I think you're right. Childress on the inside. This guy, every time he's come in recent games, he's given them a big lift. And that's 6 points off the bench right now.
I'm going to call it CQ. Childress, Cruz, and Chisholm.
And a turnover by Florida again. They're 9th College basketball on ESPN continues tomorrow night with a couple of games. At 7, it's Villanova and UConn. Then at 9 o'clock, Dick's going to see Maryland take it on number 14 Duke. College basketball and ACC Wednesday presented by Staples on ESPN, available in high definition on ESPN HD.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike Patrick and I have a lot of fun down there watching Gary. Mike Krzyzewski, 2 hot teams. Gary's won 5 in a row.
And Maryland's always played good against Duke. I'll see Maryland Saturday against NC State. Maryland's on a roll right now.
They won 5 in a row. Duke's won 4 in a row, really playing well.
Brewer with the rebound for Florida. They try to cut into a 18-point lead.
They're going to get some ball movement, player movement.
Dick, they'd love to get it down to single digits by halftime. I don't even know if they can get to within a dozen the way they're playing and where they're shooting right now.
Tennessee doing a good job defensively, very active.
Horford backs in again, and against a double team, just powers his way to the rack.
He is terrific. He is absolutely so physical, so aggressive around the basket. His dad played in the NBA, so did Torian Green's dad.
Tennessee slows it down a little bit. Ramar Smith at the point, guarded by Humphrey. Lofton not on the floor right now, getting a breather for the Vols. Childress inside again, fouled en route to the basket. I think Corey Brewer got him on the way by.
He was going in for another layup unmolested until he got fouled.
It's the first on Brewer. Corey Brewer is supposed to be one of the best defenders in the country.
Yeah, look at this right here. That's just lackadaisical defense. I mean, he just went right by him.
Childress, who dropped about 20 pounds since last season. He's added 7 inches to his vertical jump. And he is playing one of his best halves of basketball right now.
You know, I look at the #1 seeds right now, Brad. You got 4 teams that I feel are #1 seeds unless they let it slide away from them. You're talking UCLA, Ohio State, obviously Florida, and North Carolina. And Florida playing like this, getting beat the way Kansas is coming on. They won 20 out of 22. I mean, they lose this game, losing 3 out of 4. They could play themselves right out of a #1 seed.
Well, if they end up having lost 3 of their last 4 with the regular season of the SEC about to end this weekend, it's certainly not going to look good on the resume, that's for sure.
You know, when I think about it, it's not as like people say, well, #1 and #2. Well, #1 seeds, think about this. A number 16 has never, ever beaten a #1. But a #2, they have won 4 times. So there is a little difference.
You bet there is. Horford in low again, backs up on Cruz. Boy, and then throws an elbow. I don't know if the official saw that. Maybe it was just out of jubilation for scoring his 10th point. But a little bit of an elbow in there after the basket.
I thought he's doing what he can on the inside every time he gets the ball. He just needs some help. Playing a little passive zone right now. Came out of the man-to-man. Tough to zone this Tennessee team the way they shoot threes.
Here's Howell. He's going to try one and got it. Just like Dick just mentioned.
Tough to zone them. They shoot the 3 too well. They have too many weapons in all parts of the floor. They can shoot it from the wing, from the top of the circle.
18 points for Tennessee from their bench right now. Brewer up and under. Nice scoop shot by Corey Brewer.
That's his athleticism right there. Corey Brewer, long, quick. You got to defend, though. When you're down like this, the only way you're going to get back, you got to play on the defensive side.
Tell you, if somebody would have told a Volunteer fan that at this point in this game, it would be Ramar Smith, Josh Tabb, Jordan Howell, Ryan Childress, and Chris Lofton, and a 16-point lead, they'd say, wait a minute, what lineup do you have out there? Lofton, 3 again.
I cannot believe the way he gets that off. I cannot believe he's Mr. Kentucky in basketball.
46-27.
I don't think there's any doubt they would love to see him in that Kentucky blue now.
Peyton Manning loving it. So are the rest of the 23,000 or so that are here. Horford, who's been really the only consistent offense for Florida. Offensive. Nope. They're going to call a foul on Cruz.
Yeah, I thought a little acting right there. The Oscars just went out. I thought a little acting.
Is he one of the best shooters in the country, Richard?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. He's a 6 shooter, this guy. He's solid gold, baby.
Gravity will propel this Lexus IS over 4,000 feet in a matter of seconds. This Lexus IS will attempt to cover the same distance even faster. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. So much for gravity.
Attractive leases available on all 2007 IS models for a limited time at your Lexus dealer.
As you may know, there have been recent unusual occurrences all over the world.
Everywhere this thing goes, 8 days later, the planet dies. How do you fight something that can eat planets? Leave that to me.
I'm so hot for you right now.
Me too.
Can we talk? This film is not yet rated.
Whoa, something's going on. Is that?
It's new steak grilled taquitos. Delicious. Carne asada steak you can eat anywhere, even out here.
Well, we're the kings. I say we go try it.
Awesome. Let's go.
Hey, how are Keith?
Good. Scary.
Taco Bell's new steak grilled taquitos. Marinated carne asada steak grilled to go with your choice of dip. To get carne asada steak for less carne asada price.
Any sour cream?
Think outside the bun.
If you could travel like this for the same price as this, why wouldn't you?
It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys. Call an agent 24/7 or visit statefarm.com.
I'm Reese Davis. Coming up on the UPS Halftime Report, we'll show you how the Panthers bounced back from the pits and a Great Lakes State showdown that proved to be a resume builder for one team and a bit of a letdown for some in Cooperstown as the Veteran Committee votes again. We'll talk at halftime.
All right, Reese, we'll see you in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Super Tuesday presented by Lexus as Tennessee dominating number 4 Florida right now, 46-27. Dick, this is what Joe Lenardi, our bracketologist, has come up with. Do you buy this or?
No, I don't. I've been at Florida number 1, except after tonight things could slide. And if I were going number 1 up there and have Kansas instead of Wisconsin, I think Wisconsin with the loss to Ohio State and also losing the kid Butch now is certainly going to set them back a little bit.
Here's a guy that's done all he could do so far tonight, Al Horford. 10 points.
Joe Lenardi and those guys do a great job. They really do.
They almost never miss.
They work so hard. They really do. Blue Ribbon, by the way, is coming out with a tournament book. Chris Dortch told me tonight for the tournament. Blue Ribbon, as we know, does a phenomenal job analyzing all the college teams.
Horford now with 12, and Dan Werner's going to come into the lineup for Florida. Horford's going to get a breather here at the 2-minute mark with a 17-point Tennessee lead.
They've been brilliant. Offensively, defensively, they've been much more aggressive than Florida. But Florida, back in their mindset, remember this, they know they can come from behind. They've done it this year on a number of occasions. They got to try to eliminate these kind of starts. I mean, horrible start.
Tennessee on a 100-point pace right now, and Corey Brewer picks up his second foul. And that's going to send Chris Lofton to the free throw line, and that's just about as automatic as you can get, although he's not the 92% shooter he was a year ago, but 84 is pretty good.
Not bad. Billy Donovan, 9 consecutive years after this year, will be going to the NCAA tournament. That's never happened before in school history. He's done so many amazing things. Jeremy Foley made the great hire and bringing Billy Donovan and Urban Meyer as a combination. They're probably the best in America, football and basketball.
And Mike Hamilton here in Knoxville didn't make a very bad choice with Bruce Pearl, did he?
That's right. Not bad at all.
And of course, Mike's involved, our good friend, AD here at Tennessee, involved in the renovations of Thompson Bowling Arena. There's going to be a lot of skyboxes that are going to be put in. They're putting in millions and millions of dollars. But this guy has been worth his weight in gold just as a salesman for basketball around here.
Also, I'd like to be his agent. 6,000 more fans they've averaged a game over the last 2 years since he's been here. Well, if you multiply that to 16 home games, that's like 96,000 fans more.
See, there goes your math skills again. You used to be a math teacher.
You talk about 200,000 more fans, $20 a ticket. I mean, we're talking new contract.
I hear you. I hear where you're going. Final minute and a half of the half. Richard had it rejected by Cruz, got it back and scored it the second time.
Good job by Richard staying with that ball. Something tells me the pride factor of being a national champ, they got to come out in the second half a little angry.
They're going to have to be because they're in a 17-point hole right now. Here's Lofton all the way in, up off the glass. And the rebound comes off. And look at Horford dribbling down court. And now Torian Green. That would have been a tough catch. It wasn't a catch. It's the 10th turnover by the Gators.
I think Horford's going to make one heck of a player at the next level. He's got the body, this touch. Billy Donovan was a terrific shooter for Rick Pitino, who, by the way, has his team playing really well at this time of the year.
Absolutely.
Went to that 1 week beating Pittsburgh and Marquette.
Final minute, first half. Tennessee, after trailing by 4 early, has dominated this first 20 minutes of action.
See, right now, very passive defensively.
Lofton will be looking for a pick here and rolls into the lane with a little teardrop.
He gets right to the basket. The defense is unbelievable. There is no stopping of penetration.
Listen to the crowd.
Oh, do they got momentum going in? Do they have Uncle Mo on their side?
Final 25.
They feed off their coach on that sideline. They feed off the electricity they get. Is his personality. It's contagious. I can feel it here next to you, Mr. Nusler.
Final 10 seconds now.
Look at him
trying to get it to Torian Green, and Howell won't even allow that.
Look at the denial. The denial.
He's got to take the last shot. No, offensive foul maybe. And it is.
What a terrific effort by Tennessee. They get an A+ here. Billy Donovan's got to get his kids to regroup. They got to get their mindset changed.
And there's still 3.3 left, and don't you think you got to know where number 5 is at all times. They're trying to get it to him. Shot at the buzzer. Nope. It's in and out, and it would not have counted. The officials say that the light went off on the buzzer as well before he got it out of his hand. But they didn't need that one because they got a 19-point lead at home. Trying to go to 16-0 at Thompson-Boling Arena. And that has only happened one other time that they've won 16 home games in a season. Bruce Pearl's got to be a fairly happy coach right now with 50 points at halftime. He's with Heather Cox.
Coach, earlier today you told me on paper that you were outmatched inside. So how have you been able to more than double up Florida inside the paint?
Well, we're smaller, so we got to press up on the ball. You can see terrific ball pressure. We're trying to front the post and make them lob it over the top, even though they're bigger than us, because if we sit back behind it and they direct enter it, they're going to score on us all night.
Seems like you're playing a chess match using so many players. What has been the key to your balance?
Well, I mean, I think we've been really sharing the ball offensively. We've been patient offensively, and I think our defensive intensity has been really good.
Coach, we'll let you get back to the team. Thanks so much, Brad.
All right, what a half by Tennessee. 50-31, the halftime score. The Vols leading the 4th-ranked Gators. Time for the UPS halftime report. Reese Diggs and Jay Bill are waiting back in the studio, guys.
Brad dropping the hip nicknames for you guys. You know, I tell you, I think people are overreacting. I think things are pretty good for Florida. It took them about 31 minutes to get 31 points against LSU on Saturday. So, relatively speaking, not so bad in the first half, I guess.
Drop it like it's hot. Yeah. 50 points in that first half, shooting 67%, and that's not Florida's defense. They've been giving up like 42% for the season. Now it's like, where are they going? They just don't have anything going with confidence.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about taking the opponent's best shot, you know, and being number one and the responsibility that goes with being number one and being the best team and defending national champions and all that. I think the key is when you go on the road and you're a team as good as Florida, you've got to deliver the first blow. You've got to be prepared not to play, but prepared to fight. And my sense is that Florida's not prepared to fight right now. And that's what they have to have.
Yeah. How much of that do you attribute to the fact that they've wrapped up the SEC regular season so early?
I don't know. I can't believe that would be the case, that's what they're playing for. I mean, the SEC is important now, but they're going for a bigger prize. They've felt what it's like to cut the nets down, and they want to do it again. And the idea that somehow they're not prepared to play and prepared to fight and prepared to match the intensity of an opponent that beat them twice last year, that would give me a little bit of concern and pause.
Yeah, Joakim Noah said in the offseason, told Bruce Pearl, albeit somewhat jokingly, he came back one of the reasons to beat him twice.
Well, maybe he'll come back again next year.
Yeah, he better get busy in the second half or hope to meet him again in the tournament. Big 19-point lead for the Volunteers at the break. Not like Bruce Pearl paint, but some paint for Michigan and perhaps putting a little finishing stroke on their resume and getting it in better position to make the NCAA tournament against Michigan State. And the Mountaineers also needing to do a little climbing against Pittsburgh. We'll show you how the Panthers bounce back.
medicines. Things that make modern life modern come from one place, chemistry. Learn more at AmericanChemistry.com.
Rated T for teen.
We have the location of the missiles. It's on you, Mitchell. Take them out.
Enemy helo! Get down! Medic! Get Mitchell! Hit that chopper! I got it! Target acquired! Cover!
Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. Own it March 8th.
It's an ESPN Full Circle special event. The NASCAR Busch Series rolls into Mexico City with expanded coverage across ESPN networks. Catch the race on ESPN2 or watch Spanish language coverage simulcast on ESPN Deportes and ESPN. And the action streams live with enhanced features on ESPN360.com. NASCAR Busch Series at Mexico City. Full Circle coverage begins Sunday at 1:30. This is the UPS Halftime Report.
Florida's offense made Pat Summitt sound like she was right on key. 19-point lead for the Volunteers and a new lid for Dickie V. 50-31 at halftime. West Virginia and Pitt, Jamie Dixon and the Panthers on senior night, getting set to go to Marquette this weekend. Opportunity to get the #1 seed in the Big East tournament. There's Levon Kendall.
Kendall really played. I thought he was the MVP tonight. He's the guy that made a difference. 12 points, 9 rebounds.
It's been a good three-point shooting team this year, but struggling a bit of late. Antonio Graves hits one there. Panthers down 3 at the half. Second half, but Vance Fields finds Aaron Gray.
This is a really good passing team. 24 assists for Pittsburgh on 29 field goals for the game. As a result, they shot 70% in the second half.
And Pittsburgh, 50% from 3, 8 of 16, including that one from Levance Fields. 14-point victory. So West Virginia, this could have been a huge resume-building win, but not many people go in front of the Oakland Zoo and get the victory. What about West Virginia's resume at this time?
Well, it's not like losing to Pittsburgh really hurts them. It just would have helped them if they would have won. The key wins against UCLA. UCLA not at full strength with Darren Collison not available to play. Solid win against Villanova. Good win against DePaul. I'm not sure that, though, with this strength of schedule, it's going to be enough.
They got to beat Cincinnati at home and do something in the Big East Conference tournament. Otherwise, they could play their way out.
They'll have an opportunity to do so. Another team that's been playing its way out, Sean Sutton at Oklahoma State. They lost 6 out of 7 against Kansas State. Here's Mario Bogan.
Bogan really played well in the first half. 9 points. James Oncarry, he makes things happen also. Those two guys get it going. He gets 10 points the first half. They've got to find their confidence again.
A little bit of offense from David Mines.
Well, a good job of sharing the ball. Not a very good job by Kansas State of getting pressure on the ball and pressure on a shooter. But 13 assists in the first half for Oklahoma State. That's pretty solid.
41-30. Now, Kansas State, the very good conference record. Where do they stand in your estimation?
I still think they're right there. If they got a home game against Oklahoma, they take care of business with that one. They'll put them in a better position as far as the conference. But they are a solid team. They've got some good wins, especially that win at Texas as well as Southern Cal.
But those are the only 2. They've only got 2 wins. 2 wins isn't enough. You're going to need 3 and 4 to get in. And I think Kansas State has some more work to do.
Also, desperation time perhaps for Michigan against Drew Neitzel and Michigan State. Wolverines' overall record's good, but certainly needed to win this one at home against the Spartans. And Deion Harris draining the 3. Long one from outside. Jared Smith. This is a beautiful pass to Brent Petway.
Petway, just what a great play down the floor. That's the energy these guys had tonight.
Neitzel trying to bring his team back, hampered a bit by the flu bug, but played most of the evening. 59-56, Michigan lead after that bucket. But Smith, the good look to the senior Courtney Sims. Got it to roll in, and the Wolverines get a much-needed victory. Their 20th of the season. Deion Harris leading the way with 24 points for Tommy Amaker's team. So now they are guaranteed no worse than a 500 finish in the Big Ten. What about the Wolverines at the moment, Jim?
Boy, 4 pretty solid wins against Michigan State, Indiana, Illinois, and Purdue, and competing a bit with Illinois and Purdue perhaps as bubble teams. A very important game coming up with Ohio State. That one's going to be at Michigan, then they go into the Big Ten tournament. If Michigan can get a couple more wins, I think they put themselves in awfully good shape.
Michigan getting one of them, and big-time opportunity against the Buckeyes coming. Air Force against BYU. They've just started the second half there. Is Dillick's team with a 2-point lead.
Well, Air Force, their last 8 games, they're 4-4, and that means that these teams have figured out how to play against Air Force. They need to win this game at home tonight to put out the fire. They lost at BYU.
Air Force with the 3-point lead early in the second half. Still to come on the UPS halftime report. The trade deadline in the National Hockey League just passing. We'll get you up to date. Who's moving, who's coming, who's going in a bit.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
All right, international shipping. Well, your products are on a plane, ready to go to your customers in Europe to arrive on Friday. But Italy wants it there by noon, Paris early morning, and London late afternoon. Well, if you had a UPS logo, now when your customers ask, you can say, si, oui, and yes. It's not international shipping. It's international shipping with UPS. And you even got a little tailwind.
Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. I am now in control of all things.
I'm not the Zodiac, and if I was, I certainly wouldn't tell you.
Rated R in theaters this Friday.
So now what do we do? Fight! Last one standing gets the promotion. Survival of the fittest. I want the promotion! You're a delivery guy. You don't even work here.
Do more than just survive the work week. A better job awaits, and CareerBuilder.com has the most.
Hot soup, $4. Cold medicine, $11. Blanket, $24. Making it all better. Priceless. With PayPass on your MasterCard, just tap and go.
I've been to Newark, Hackensack, 3 meetings back to back.
Conference in Maine, put faces to names.
Seminar, Lombard, big stack of business cards.
Stayed at Comfort Suites, got a hot breakfast free.
Warehouse, inventory, Foreman had a funny story.
Big meeting, New Rochelle, told my boss, all went well.
This spring, stay at any Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites, Quality Inn, Sleep Inn, or Clarion Hotel. You'll earn triple choice privileges points or triple airline rewards with your second stay. For reservations, visit choicehotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
In 3 days,
You always go around helping people in the night?
the Zodiac
When I'm done with them, they don't need much help.
is coming.
Who's that?
Zodiac, rated R, in theaters March 2nd.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
It's Arch Madness in St. Louis as Bradley's Deion Jackson sought to wipe out a 1-point deficit.
Here it comes. Under 5 seconds. Parker dishes inside. Jackson lost the handle. Got it back. Got the shot away, and he hit a 3. Are you kidding me?
That right there is what makes March something special.
Veterans Committee for the Baseball Hall of Fame again stringent in its voting. 70% of the members voted to elect Ron Santo into the Hall of Fame. It takes 75 to get him in. The Cubs third baseman not going to the Hall. Third straight year the Veterans Committee did not elect a member to the Hall of Fame. Trade deadline just passed in the NHL. Some notable trades, perhaps the one that the Red Wings made. The biggest gamble, Todd Bertuzzi has not played since late November after having lower back surgery and hoping that he'll recover, give them a little grit and scoring on the front line. Ryan Smith also moving along with Bill Guerin, who is going to the Sharks. Much more on the trades coming up on SportsCenter after basketball, but the second half from Knoxville is coming. Chris Lofton, 14 in the first half, and the Volunteers roaring past the Gators.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
sales race is on. We're in a race to sell 100,000 Nissans in one single event. That means record-breaking deals on high-performing Nissans. Like a $179 lease on the all-new Nissan Sentra. 100,000 Nissans in one event. So, ladies and gentlemen, get to your Nissan dealer now and start your savings.
Wild Hogs, baby! In 3 days. Oh! Wild Hogs is the year's first great comedy.
I have to research alternative specs.
Searching alternative specs.
What?
Travolta, Lawrence, Allen, and Macy are a comedy dream team.
I've always thought so. You wearing pants?
No.
Wild Hogs has big.
It's pretty hot.
Big laughs. What the hell? Wild Hogs. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
Listen up, America. The Cheesy Bites Pizza is back.
It's back. Yeah!
There's never been a pizza more pullable, more poppable, or more irresistible. Get a large one topping now for just $11.99. Want more fun? Get America's favorite pizza, Pizza Hut.
Hey. What a catch by Marvin Harrison!
We did a great job today, but you know what? We got to play a little bit better. Today is our day, our time, today.
The Colts just aren't here. What a comeback! What an effort! We're going to the Super Bowl! And the champions of the football world are the Indianapolis Colts.
Relive it all. Get the NFL Super Bowl 41 champions, the Indianapolis Colts DVD now at Best Buy or wherever DVDs are sold.
The world is not always a safe place. Thankfully, the ML350's brake assist is supplying full brake boost, while the electronic stability program brakes each wheel for improved stability. Plus, the ML350 was named a top safety pick for 2007.
The ML350, just one of the Mercedes-Benz SUVs with standard 4MATIC four-wheel drive. The acclaimed 2007 ML350 starts at $43,455.
Give them something to shoot, give them something to hoop, give them something they can alley-oop, chill, give them something to steal, cross over the pill, give them something for the highlight reel. Hey, yo.
24,047 are watching this one at Thompson Bowling Arena. Our Super Tuesday presented by Lexus has the hometown Vols on top by 19 over the defending national champion Florida Gators. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Dick Vitale. That was as dominating a performance as we've seen by anybody over the Florida Gators in a half.
Absolutely. They did a terrific job sharing the basketball. 12 assists out of 20 baskets. Really moved the ball. Got everybody involved. Look at the bounce pass. Everybody share the rock. Go to the basket. Layup time. And if it's not a layup, make the extra pass. Shoot the trifecta. Something they do well. Look at that bounce pass. Another layup.
You would think Florida would dominate in the paint. It's been quite the opposite. If you take a look at the point distribution, Tennessee has 30 points in the paint. And it's not just the big guys. They're letting the Smiths and Lofton and everybody get to the rack right now, as Florida's defense, quite frankly, has not showed up.
That's putting it bluntly, Brad. That's exactly right. Their defense has been a no-show. I read a column, and really an outstanding guy down in Gainesville, Pat Dooley, wrote about, the fact that they got to really get back their mindset and start playing. Like you wrote about Noah not really playing up to his potential recently. This team is not playing to its level of ability.
Let's see what Heather got out of Billy Donovan. Heather?
Well, you guys won't be surprised at all to hear that Billy Donovan talked all defense to me. He said we cannot allow a team to shoot 67% and think we're going to win this game. He didn't point the finger at any one Gator. He said it's team defense that we are not doing well. In terms of adjustments, he said we have to take care of the ball better. We're making poor decisions on the break. We have to work inside, outside. Basically, Coach Donovan not happy with a thing, guys.
I wouldn't think so. 9 players played for Tennessee. They all scored.
I thought it's an honest evaluation by Billy Donovan. He knows a lot better. Noah got those fouls, went to the sideline, didn't score a point. I mean, Joakim Noah didn't score a point.
And only took 1 field goal attempt. That foul on Wayne Chisholm, and that could have a big bearing on the inside game for Tennessee. That's his 3rd forward right now.
He's an athlete, very athletic. He's really elevated his game.
Let's see if Noah comes to play in the second half or if they try to get him involved early. Horford is the guy that scored the most for him in the first half with 12. Torian Green for 3. Horford keeps it alive. And now the rebound comes off to Tennessee. And the Gators trying to swarm, and they're going to be picked up with a foul by Noah. And that's his third, Dick.
That's his third. Billy Donovan, though, I don't think you can pull him out. I mean, you're down 19. You got to let him play. You got to let him play.
Well, they were frustrated by the little guy getting the rebound inside. Jawan Smith, all 6'2" of him.
I'll tell you, Dane Bradshaw did a great job of blocking out like a clinic. And he blocked out Noah prior to that foul. Only shooting 19%, but he's so valuable in the SEC. Yeah, because he does all the intangibles. He plays on the defensive end, sets screens, passes exceptionally well. Averages 4 assists a game.
Tennessee's coach Bruce Pearl and his wife Kim have started a scholarship in Dane Bradshaw's name. And I don't know if that's ever happened with an active player before at any school, as Lofton takes a long 3, but that's how valuable he's been in just the 2 years that Bruce Pearl's had him as coach, and he was the only one introduced tonight as the only senior, and there was quite a reception that he got before the ball game tonight. Tennessee with another steal. Here comes Smith, and now Lofton, and now Smith again.
Are you kidding? That is a clinic. That is an absolute clinic, the way they pass the ball in that sequence. So unselfish, and they get the layup.
I don't know if when you came to town, Mr. Vitale, you were expecting the Vols to be up by 21 points.
I haven't been here many a year, but I'll tell you what, I got a feel I'm going to be back next year.
Bradshaw with another steal. Can Lofton get to it? Saves it. And then they throw it away.
Trying to make the extra pass. You know, getting back to that scholarship in Bradshaw's name, $100,000.
Yeah.
You know, Bruce Pearl told me before the game, he said 45 years I was a poor man. 18 months I've been rich. You know what? I like it rich.
Dane Bradshaw's in grad school. He graduated in 3 years in communications. And I think whatever he chooses to do, it probably won't be basketball, but he's going to be good at it.
His dad went to my alma mater.
That's right. Whistle, foul, and a turnover. Turnover, not a foul.
They're out of sync. Totally out of sync. They came out with a little bit, really a mindset of playing a little harder, but they're really out of sync offensively.
They haven't been buried this far by anybody. Dick mentioned some of the other big leads that other teams had, including 18 by Alabama. But when you're down 21 and you're in front of 24,000 in a hostile crowd, well, you better show your championship medal or you got no chance.
Exactly. It's a little different than being at home where they had a lot of reptiles to spark them on. Came back and beat Alabama by 10.
Lofton missed the long 3, but Bradshaw got the rebound on the long carry.
The one thing you don't want to do is get too cautious with that lead. You want to still play your basketball. You don't want to try to start to look at the clock and take time off.
Chisholm drops it off on the baseline, and it's stolen away there. Tennessee hasn't turned it over much. Green, looked like he turned his ankle. Hope he's all right. He gets up, but apparently he is. It's going to be on Chisholm, and that's 4, and he's heading to the bench right away.
What would help Florida is if Humphrey would get going with shooting some threes. Can't even get any looks.
You know, Chisholm was trying to get out of the way, and he got his feet tangled up, I think, with Torian Green more than anything else.
Florida's really getting everybody's A game everywhere they go. That's the part of being a champion. I tell you one thing Jeremy Foley does, I've said it so many times, he gives his coaches an opportunity to win.
Right.
He provides the facilities, he provides the revenue, he'll pay you, but you better win.
Dick, you don't want to have 4 more turnovers than you have field goals at this stage of the game, and that's what you just saw on the graphic. 14 and 10. The crowd really getting into it. Any call that's made against Tennessee, drawing a chorus of boos. And now the inbounds pass is stolen again. Behind the back, all in one move by Jawan Smith.
They do that well on the inbounds. They force more turnovers on inbounds than anybody I've seen.
Bradshaw in traffic. Jawan Smith triple. Got it!
I'll tell you what, though, Bradshaw can pass the rock. He's averaging 4 assists. Smith can shoot it. They got so many weapons with the 3, and they love playing defense in terms of pressing.
Tennessee by 24. Torian Green can't quiet the crowd. Joakim Noah gets tangled up on the baseline, and the foul is going to be on Tennessee, and it'll be on Lamar Smith. That's only his first.
You know what's continuing here? You mentioned a little bit earlier about the turnovers. In their 4 losses, think about this. LSU, they only had 7 assists, 15 turnovers. Vanderbilt, 11 assists, 22 turnovers. Florida State, 11 assists, 19 turnovers. Kansas, 9 assists, 14 turnovers. That's 38 assists and 70 turnovers in all their losses.
Well, 21 points for Tennessee off the turnovers that they forced tonight. And so the numbers are adding up for the Volunteers.
I think Bruce Pearl wins this. That's 3 out of 4 over.
That's right. That's pretty good. Cruz knocks it back in Corey Brewer's face on the inbound.
Florida's got a date with Kentucky at home. Kentucky's going to get their hit down there in terms of senior day, and the Rowdy Reptiles will be fired up.
Florida turns it over again as Noah can't handle the inbounds pass. 16 turnovers now.
My friends, they got to get to the locker room and they got to look at the mirror, because the mirror doesn't count. You got to look at that mirror and simply say, hey, where have we lost that passion and that incredible desire we had as a champion?
Bradshaw got a 3.
It is unbelievable. This is blowout city. I would have never ever believed it, especially after the loss that they had to LSU. You would have felt that we would have saw the national championship caliber team.
Corey Brewer lays it in. He's got 6. Here's Josh Tabb working the baseline, had it pinned against the glass by Horford. And now he dribbles down and gets it to Humphrey. Pull up 3 for Humphrey. Got it.
That's what they need. They got to get that 3 from Humphrey going.
2 threes on the night for Lee Humphrey. 22-point advantage, and now Humphrey trying to put some pressure on Howell. It's Howell and Tabb, Bradshaw, Smith, and Cruz on the floor. And remember, Chisholm out of the lineup and probably will be for quite some time with 4 fouls for Tennessee.
You know, looking at Humphrey, his first 24 games, he shoots 50% from the 3, 66 for 132. His last 5 games, 9 for 32.
Here's Bradshaw with 5 on the shot clock. Driving, putting it up high off the glass. And the senior, his last appearance at Thompson Bowling Arena, and he's making it special, isn't he?
He is really making it special. Bringing a smile out of the face of their legend, their quarterback hero of the Colts, Mr. Manning.
Horford. And timeout. Billy Donovan wanted a timeout, and the officials couldn't hear him. It's too loud in here.
Wow, look
15 minutes left, and look at the score.
Can you believe that? 60-36, and it's, look at Peyton Manning. You talk about a champion.
The MVP of the Super Bowl. He'll be with Heather Cox when we come back. Tennessee loving it right now.
NBA Friday doubleheader. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern.
To sell 100,000 Nissans in one single event. That means record-breaking deals on high-performing Nissans. Like a 179 lease on the all-new Nissan Sentra. 100,000 Nissans in one event. So, ladies and gentlemen, get to your Nissan dealer now and start your savings.
At T. Rowe Price, successful investing is about balancing risk and reward intelligently. For each 1, 5, and 10-year period, 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average, finding the right opportunity. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
There's something to be said about Papa John's new 6-topping sausage sensation pizza. That something is this new taste sensation is loaded with spicy Italian, new smoked, and sweet sausages, plus fresh cut onions and red and green peppers. Now, for a limited time, get a large 6-topping sausage sensation pizza for just $11.99. $11.99.
Taste the difference. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Things that make you go,
All right, customer service. Well, there's Sally. She's your new customer, and she worries. But if you ship her order with UPS, it'll email her. Hey, Sally, I'm leaving the warehouse. Now it notifies her. Hey, Sally, I took a left in Louisville. Now it writes, hey, I'm right downstairs. Look, Sally's smiling. It's not customer service. It's your customer service with UPS.
Back in Knoxville, Tennessee, the Vols with a huge lead over the Florida Gators, and I am now joined by Tennessee's favorite son, Peyton Manning, Super Bowl MVP and Super Bowl champion. And Peyton, it's only 3 or 4 weeks old. Have those labels sunk in yet?
Well, you never really get tired of hearing them, and it sure makes you feel good when you share it with your teammates. I brought Brandon Stokely and Jeff Saturday down here to Knoxville, and anytime you can be around guys that you helped win that Super Bowl, it sure makes you feel good.
Now, Peyton, you had a chance to address Bruce Pearl's team before the game. We're giving you full credit for this huge lead. What on earth did you tell them?
Well, like I said, there's not much you need to say to get fired up to play Florida in an SEC basketball game, and there's no better motivator than Bruce Pearl. But I just told them that I pull for them every time they play. They've really brought Tennessee men's basketball back to a new level, almost to the same level that Pat Summitt has always had the Lady Vols, and just proud that they brought that program back now. Hopefully the idea is to finish the job.
Speaking of Pat Summitt, a good friend of yours, you were talking to her earlier. You also were expected, saw a little treat, saw her cheering this team on in Rocky Top. How surprised were you?
I thought you looked great. I was tipped off a little bit, but I told her that was the main reason I was coming tonight, was to see her in her cheerleader uniform. So she did great, and she and Bruce support each other so well, and I think it's just great because this is really a basketball state in a lot of ways. Football is always going to be, kind of top, but this is a basketball town, and Bruce has really brought the level back.
Peyton, congratulations on your success. We'll be back to Knoxville after this.
Next on SportsCenter, 12 wins and counting will the Mavs keep it rolling on the road. How Heisman winner Troy Smith hurt his draft stock, and passing the great one did a young superstar make history. SportsCenter after the game.
If these walls could talk, they'd speak of football in its purest form. The kind played by kids in backyards, only these kids never grew up. If these walls could talk, they'd say you have to see it to believe it. Russell Athletic ESPN Arena Football begins Sunday at 12:30 on ABC.
As you may know, there have been recent unusual occurrences all over the world.
Everywhere this thing goes, 8 days later, the planet dies. How do you fight something that can eat planets? Leave that to me.
I'm so hot for you right now.
Me too!
Can we talk? This film is not yet rated.
The Nissan National Sales Race is on. We're in a race to sell 100,000 Nissans in one single event. That means record-breaking deals on high-performing Nissans. Like a $179 lease on the all-new Nissan Sentra. 100,000 Nissans in one event. So, ladies and gentlemen, get to your Nissan dealer now and start your savings.
Second down line for their own 35. Just over the 9 is there.
Woo! Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
Peyton Manning and some of his teammates. Jeff Saturday is center on the left. Brandon Stokely, wide receiver, in the middle there. And, of course, Peyton's been touching Jeff Saturday's butt for 9 years. You got to bring him to the game with you.
Exactly.
And right now, it's Tennessee by 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Unbelievable. And let me tell you what a great guy Peyton Manning is. I got invited to his 30th birthday party by his wife, a surprise party. I said, I can't come. I'm with my whole family. They told me, bring everybody. He was so great to my grandchildren. I mean, they were wearing his number 18. He's signing autographs.
Inbound play for Chris Richard.
You know, he reminds me of Derek Jeter. They never forgot where they came from. They've also, their parents have done a great job in raising them, and really just terrific role models.
Well, it's it's kind of like, as the commercial says, it was a Super Bowl win for the whole Manning family. Archie and Olivia did such a great job raising Cooper and Peyton and Eli, and I don't know anybody that doesn't like Peyton Manning. I can tell you that much.
Same thing with Derek Jeter. His family did a great job raising him.
Lofton's going to go to the free throw line as Torian Green picks up his second foul.
I disagree with you, buddy. I know I like you, but I disagree with you. I think a lot of defensive backs don't like him.
That's true.
I don't think they like him. He picks on him, embarrasses him, humiliates him.
Here's Lofton, 2 for 2 at the stripe, and one rims out on it.
Talk about humiliation. It's a real humiliating scene here.
There's Coach Fulmer. I talked to him a little bit at halftime.
He'd like to have him back behind center.
Boy, no kidding. But he does have Eric Ainge, and some of the football players were out here at halftime, and Eric Ainge had a sensational year, and he'll be back for his final hurrah in the SEC coming up this season.
I tell you one thing, the Gators, and I don't know football like you do, but their recruiting class looks like it's going to be unbelievable. Yep. Urban Meyer doing a phenomenal job there. He and Billy Donovan as a combination.
61-38.
I can't believe it. I thought we were going to see Florida.
And another Florida turnover.
I think that Kansas could be moving into that #1 seed. They won 20 last year.
I turned it over. He slapped the ball. Anyway, it's the 17th Florida turnover. We still have 14 minutes to play.
Well, you read some of the quotes by some of the players about their defensive effort. But, you know, stop talking about it. Just go out there and play.
You know, and Horford was one of the guys that said after the loss to LSU, hey, we only have ourselves to blame. We got to start playing harder. He's the one guy that's playing hard, but nobody else seems to be. Lofton's got 17.
Nobody stops dribble penetration. That is the first rule. You got to be able to stop the penetration of that basketball.
And these guys, the backcourt for Tennessee, it's not the big guys, but 26 points in the paint by the Volunteers already.
Exactly. There's Lofton taking one right to the goal. Nobody stepped in.
Torian Green had it stripped away, but it'll still be Florida basketball. Florida has 2 points in the paint. Tennessee has 26.
You know, 5 starters back from winning a national title. Look at the turnovers right here. 17 already, 13 for the season. Last time 5 starters returned, that was in '97, Arizona's team.
And another traveling violation on Corey Brewer. Back-to-back Brewer turnovers as he was trying to get around a pick by Richard and actually ran into his screen man and then turned it over, and he's going to go sit down.
Adam Shows and certainly Lindsay are doing a solid job here tonight.
Our officials, a good crew on hand tonight.
We're going to see 36 points in the paint, 26 points off turnovers. I mean, that's just humiliation. That's just being out hustled.
Yes. When I said 26 points, I meant 26 points off turnovers, 36 overall in the paint. And the 2 points Florida has off turnovers. So quite a discrepancy there.
Joakim Noah's got to really start stepping it up more offensively. I mean, he doesn't even think about getting a shot off.
Lofton with 5 on the shot clock. Back pedals over Torian Green. And the rebound is Noah. Quick outlet to Humphrey. Lee Humphrey in traffic trying to lay it up and in, and Chris Richard follows. Richard has been on a tear. He's always been a guy with a high field goal percentage because he normally scores like that. He shot 70% from the floor last year, comes in shooting 66% from the floor because, quite frankly, most of his shots are those follows. He's got 10.
Yeah, he does a great job on the offensive boards. How many shots is Noah? Noah's taking like 2 shots today.
Noah right now is still 0 for 1.
0 for 1. Had 4 shots in the last game. You can't be the #1 pick in the draft, one of the top 5 players in America, and your team is getting pounded, and you're not stepping up. I mean, he has to step up. He's too talented.
There's a ton of scouts down to our right watching tonight. Let's get a quick 30-30 update. Here's Reese.
All right, Brad, couple of quick things. 30-30 update. The Timberwolves fall to the Mavericks. Mavericks win again. That's 13 in a row. Of course, they're the first team in NBA history to have 3 winning streaks of 12 games or longer. No veterans elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame for the 3rd straight year. Ron Santo came the closest, got 70% of the vote. You need 75. Sports Center after the game. ESPN News opens.
You just missed another great pass by Dane Bradshaw. You watched it in the double box there as it looked like he had no place to go and got a bounce pass inside.
They all pass the ball so well. They enjoy passing the ball. They enjoy sharing it. Bruce Pearl has done a magnificent job getting him to play with a sense of pride.
Volunteers dominating the Florida Gators with 11:46 remaining.
Circle event. The NASCAR Busch Series rolls into Mexico City on ESPN2. Or watch Spanish language coverage simulcast on ESPN Deportes and ESPN. The NASCAR Busch Series, Sunday at 1:30.
Next on SportsCenter, 12 wins and counting will the Mavs keep it rolling on the road. How Heisman winner Troy Smith spurred his draft stock and passing the great one to a young superstar make history. SportsCenter after the game.
December truly was a month to remember at Lexus of Knoxville. Record sales filled our pre-owned luxury collection with an incredible array of high-quality trade-ins. An 04 Lexus ES330 is just $339 a month. And like all our certified pre-owned Lexus, it comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile total vehicle warranty. The pre-owned luxury collection at Lexus of Knoxville. The cars you've always dreamed of at prices you never thought possible.
It's easier than you think.
You can't cheer for the orange when you're turning blue. Keep warm and comfortable with a self-adjusting, ultra-efficient American Standard Freedom 90 natural gas furnace and an AccuClean whole house air filtration system for the cleanest, most comfortable air you've ever experienced. A natural gas furnace means warm air comfort that you can feel. American Standard from the comfort experts at City Heating and Air. We care about comfort almost as much as you care about the Vols.
Richard, let's look at Dickie V's 6 shooters.
I think these guys can flat out shoot the three. Lofton, obviously, Humphrey, Steven Sir. This guy can really shoot it for Northern Arizona. Talk about Blake Ahern out of Missouri State. Jimmy Barrett down of Rhode Island. Josh Carter, Texas A&M. Very dangerous basketball team. I'll tell you one thing, Lofton, he's more than just a 6 shooter. This guy can shoot the three. He's also added so much more diversity to his game. He can drive. He passes exceptionally well. He's unselfish. What a brilliant performance right now by this club. Tennessee has really responded tonight. There's a look at Lofton's numbers.
2 threes included in his 6 field goals made, and his assists have been picture-perfect bounce passes for the most part. Florida to inbound with 11:46 to go in the ballgame. Joakim Noah lays it in. That is his first score of the ballgame.
I mean, he's so talented. You really got to believe he's going to take 10, 12 shots at least a game. Only had 4 against LSU shots. Tonight, 2.
Tennessee turns it over. Chance for Florida this trip again. Humphrey, spot up 3. Got it.
I'll tell you what, looks like he's got a stroke going. His parents jumped up with joy on that sideline.
That's his 3rd 3 of the night.
He grew up right down the road, as you said earlier, Brad.
Yep.
Wanted to play for the Vols. Didn't offer him a scholarship. Certainly Florida was happy. The mom told us it worked out pretty good.
That's right.
He was a vital part of winning that national title.
Smith off balance. Childress trying to follow, and he's going to be guilty of the foul. Lee Humphrey from right here in Maryville, Tennessee. Just maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes from where we're sitting. Knocks down to 3.
Shot it right in front of his coach, Billy Donovan. If you know where you got to want the ball. Preseason All-American.
Preseason SEC Player of the Year in most people's opinion.
I'll tell you one thing right now, he's not even in the running this year.
There he is on the low block, spinning in traffic and drawing a foul.
Well, that's what he's got to do. He's got to become much more aggressive. I mean, talk about right now in the SEC for Player of the Year. I don't think he's even in the argument.
I don't either.
Lofton certainly is. And what about Byers down there at Vanderbilt?
Jawan Smith. There's the last 2 games. 6 points and only 6 field goal attempts. 11 boards. 2 2 points on the lay-in earlier. And then from the free throw line, he knocks it down.
I'm just such a big fan of his game. Watching him last year, blocking shots the way he did. He dominated in that run when they won that national title.
Was the Final Four MVP. 6'11" junior.
It's been documented so many times. Dad, the great tennis player.
Now some full court pressure and a steal by Brewer to Noah over Bradshaw.
That's the Noah that I knew and watched last year.
This time Tennessee gets it in. And we'll have no trouble getting it across the timeline. Bradshaw, the pass down low. Cruz is fouled by Horford.
You know, Cruz made that really difficult. Bradshaw gave him the ball and had a layup. And I think he was thinking about degree of difficulty. Maybe I'll get an extra point.
Here's the last play. Corey Brewer, the inbound steal, and then Noah.
Noah's gotten a little bit more aggressive here in the last 2 minutes.
Just wonder if it's way too little and way too late. 10-17 still to go. The lead has been sliced to 16. Cruz can put it back to 18 if he hits from the line. Cruz is a number 2 SEC freshman rebounder to his teammate Wayne Chisholm, who's on the bench with 4 fouls.
It's gonna be interesting to see who will be the newcomer of the year. The freshman kid down in Arkansas is pretty good. Beverly.
Boy, he sure is.
He's a good player. Certainly got right here Smith here for Tennessee.
Well, they got Chisholm, Cruz, and Lamar Smith are all freshmen and all have started at times this year. That shows the future of Tennessee basketball. And Lofton, I don't think there's any doubt he'll be back. Torian Green with his second 3 of the night.
Start making shots. It starts to give you a little spark on the defensive end.
Down to 15 at the 10-minute mark.
Florida getting a little bit more life to their game.
Bradshaw gets the pass over to Howell.
Nice look by Bradshaw. He looks right over the top of the defense at 6'4". Led his high school with 3 state championships.
Bradshaw out of Memphis. Now Knoxville claims him as, sort of as Heather said about Peyton, one of their favorite sons. Smith on the drive, lost the handle, and they turn it over. Here comes Florida. Noah on the flush.
That's Noah. Now that's the player that, you witnessed last year. And this is Florida with a little spark right now.
They cut it to 13, and Bruce Pearl might want a timeout here. Backcourt, here comes Bradshaw across the timeline.
Maybe they like to tease people.
Howell for 3. And Florida's got the rebound. Now if a timeout comes, it might come too late, but Billy Donovan's going to take the timeout as his team has cut it down to 13. It was a 27-point lead at one time, and now it's down to 67-54. And Joakim Noah getting involved, courtesy of his teammates' passes. 67-54 Volunteers.
Dial for men. Here's to your man suit. Your hair-covered, meat-powered man suit. Not to be dried out, perfumed up, but worn like a man. And man, this is for that mighty man suit. Dial for Men cleans without drying, so you can say, I feel good being a man.
Dial for Men Body Wash. Maintenance for your man suit. And now there's Dial for Men Hair and Body. Maintenance from head to toe.
Smokey's got a Gator, but right now the Gators got Smokey by the tail. A 14-2 Florida run in the last 2.5 minutes.
They're starting to play aggressively. They're running.
Humphrey, another long 3. Rebound. Who touched it last? Going to be out of bounds to Tennessee. Horford got a hand on it before it went out of bounds. So this is as close as we've been since it was right around the 31-17 range in the first half.
Well, knowing that 4 or 5 minute cycle played like the guy that was projected to be the Storm.
8 points in a hurry.
Got to give him a little break right now. Can't get cautious here. If you're Tennessee, you start playing a little bit cautious, trying to run that clock down. A lot of time left on that clock.
Under Bruce Pearl, when they score 80 or more points, they are 27-3. They've got 67 right now with 8:20 to go. Ball knocked out of bounds by Corey Brewer.
I think they got a little too cautious with the basketball. I think they've lost that little zeal that they had looking to go to the basket.
And now they've only got 8 seconds on the shot clock, so they have to be aware of that. They're not going to have much time to get a good look here. See if they get it to Lofton. Now the entry pass. Bradshaw underneath to Jawan Smith. What a terrific pass. Design play. Jawan Smith was the guy that threw it in. He went immediately to the baseline.
Usually that's the most dangerous guy, the guy that inbounds the basketball. Special situations, they really excel in those areas.
Florida's hit 5 of its last 6 shots at the 8-minute mark. They trail by 15. Horford got his own miss, and he's got a chance from the free throw line. Missed twice in close. Cruz picks up the foul, and it'll be Horford at the free throw line when we return. Down to 7:55, and Tennessee's lead is down to 15.
I can feel a change a-coming, start anew. Change, a change will do you good.
Michelob Light, crafted with noble European aroma hops. For a full-flavored light beer as distinctive as the bottle itself. Michelob Light, distinct by design.
To look at it, you'd never suspect that this was part of a working landfill. That's because Waste Management works closely with communities and the Wildlife Habitat Council to make sure we all live peacefully together. Bills provide 10,000 acres of
Lobster is about to be indulged in more ways than you can imagine. Lobsterfest is back at Red Lobster with new irresistible ways to love lobster. Like our new fire-grilled lobster, shrimp, and scallops topped in a zesty tequila lime sauce. Or give yourself the double decadence of succulent Maine and rock lobster tails. It's lobster all the ways you love it. Right now during Lobsterfest, only at Red Lobster.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. Oklahoma State and Kansas State both needing a victory for their tournament resumes. Terrell Harris knocking down the 3. He has 18 so far, and the Pokes lost 6 out of 7, have a 12-point lead with just over 5 minutes to play. BYU and Air Force, 2 teams close to the top of the Mountain West. BYU leading the way, 2-point lead on the road against the Falcons.
Boy, Oklahoma State needs that one bad. You heard of the blue guys. These are the orange guys, I guess. 69-54. Super Tuesday presented by Lexus. Richard, take us inside the play on this last inbound play.
Yeah, watch this from the sideline. Now watch right here. We're going to roll. Freeze it. We see the screen. Now look at Lofton. Going to give a screen here, and he's going to run his man, and nobody from Florida. Look, he's staring at the ball. Nobody sees the cutter. Now watch this. Goes right. There goes Jawan Smith.
And Bradshaw with the entry.
Yes, sir. Poor job defensively. Got to see ball, got to see man. Hey, you're right, Brad. You talk about Oklahoma State. You talk about slipping and sliding like Clemson. Wow. I can't remember a team being 17-0 to start the season and not make the tournament. In my years on ESPN, I can't remember.
It could happen. Horford at the free throw line. They've only won, what, 2 cents, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's Humphrey and Noah on the bench. Horford is the leading scorer for Florida tonight. That was his 13th, trying to make it 14 here.
He's a solid player. He really is tough, physical.
Nice rebound by Jawan Smith, who we just showed score on one end, the rebound on the other. 14 points. Tennessee's lead has been cut almost in half. Three-pointer. I don't know about that shot by Jawan Smith, but he is one of their top three-point shooters.
Yeah, he really likes to shoot that thing. I'll tell you this, Brad. As poorly as Florida's played in the last week, 10 days of the season, they're still one of my teams to go to the Final Four. I really believe it. I think tournament time, you're going to see a different team.
Chris Richard is fouled down low. I think it was Howell that got him trying to swipe the ball out of there.
I think they have lost focus. I think they have lost that mindset that champs have, and they've lost that hunger factor. But I think they'll get it back, I really believe, when it comes tournament time.
Chris Richard at the free throw line. He's done a really nice job off the bench tonight for Florida as he's got 11 points. Well, they were down tonight 27 points. These are the games with the big deficits that they came back and won, including Alabama, Vandy, and UAB. But their biggest deficit of the season has been here tonight, down at one point 58-31. Keep those numbers in mind because now we're down to a dozen.
And also, all three of those were never on the road. One was on a neutral floor and 2 were at home.
Horford, his second block shot of the night. Here comes the Gators again. Hodge all the way. Nobody cut him off.
I wonder why Noah's out so long. He's playing so well. Is there something wrong physically? I can't understand why he would be out.
He's got 3 fouls, but who cares about that? We're under 7 minutes.
He was playing so well. I tell you this, 10 with 6 on the clock. Florida, very explosive team. This baby's not locked up. I thought it was when we're up 27.
We never give up, but at times you think, hey, 27-point lead doesn't look good. Here comes Florida with a chance to make it single digits. Brewer, little stutter dribble, and now going back inside, kicks out. Green for 3. That would have been huge. Richard trying to track it down. Bradshaw knocks it away from behind, but it's going to be Florida ball. And now you can see some concern on the faces of the Volunteer fans.
I'll tell you one thing, they're playing a little bit more now with some passion and some intensity when you look at Florida.
This is what we thought we'd that we'd see from the opening tip, and we didn't.
And they really were focused during the warm-ups. They really were. Just that Tennessee played so well, moving the ball.
Noah is back in now. It's Hodge and Green in the backcourt. Brewer, Richard, and Noah. Horford's getting a breather here.
Getting the single digits psychologically was such a lift for the Gators.
Hodge so fast to the basket, and he's fouled by Bradshaw, I believe, and it should be a shooting foul.
And it stops the clock as well. I'm going to tell you right now, you know when I look at Tennessee and even the crowd looking at him, it's like that prize fighter, Brad, and I know you follow the fight game. He's leading, and he's trying to hang on, and he's on the ropes, and he's hanging on, hoping and praying that it comes to an end, because he's got the baby won. And that's what you see right about now, because Florida has got a little momentum on its side. This guy's getting nervous right here. Look at this guy.
Chisholm's coming back in. His time on the bench probably done with 6:08. He's got 4 fouls. But Bruce Pearl is pulling out the stops right now because he knows the lead is in a precarious spot for Tennessee because it is down to 8 points.
Down to 8. Still 6 on that clock left.
Here's Lofton underneath, and he got it to go.
And that's what you want out of a great player, to make a great play when your team needs it. And that's what he did. He responded in a tough situation.
Lofton with 19. Tennessee fans now getting up for the defense again.
Yes, sir. The crowd now gets alive.
24,047.
And it's going to continue like this for years to come under Mr. Pearl.
Humphrey. Tough shot, didn't go. Rebound, Tennessee. Josh Tabb pulls down the rebound.
Florida can't allow them to go on a little spurt.
Bradshaw, they leave him alone. He's got those bad shoulders. He does have a 3-pointer tonight. Played most of last year with wrist ligament damage and most of this year with 2 bad shoulders. So he's not the scoring threat that he used to be.
He played in the tournament last year in a lot of pain. He just wanted to play and had the surgery late.
Here he is underneath, and he almost got a shot off there as Hodge fouled him.
He learned how to play at home with his siblings. His sister, his 2 brothers, all played college basketball. One at the Merchant Marine Academy, one at Barry University of Florida, one at Cornell.
He's going to, you hear the chants of Bradshaw as he's down on the baseline. Again, he doesn't show up big in the scorebook, but 7 points, 5 rebounds, great hustle. Everybody had a number 3 when they, 23 when they came in here tonight, and they've been waving him every time he does something right, which is and has been most of the time in his career. Underneath, whistle and a foul. Josh Tabb, nice pass to the interior to Ramar Smith. We talked about the only senior for this Tennessee team, and what a reception he got with his mom and dad, some of his family members here. Big standing ovation for him, and then some of the work that he's done against the taller opponents, both inside and outside. It has been a nice way to go out if indeed Tennessee wins this tonight. I think Dane Bradshaw will be one of the first to be celebrating in the Tennessee locker room.
Said he learned so much playing with his brother Ryan, Cody, and sister Bridget. All played in school. His parents really very proud. So is everybody here at Tennessee. Gee, they speak about this kid in such glowing terms.
Yep. He said to Dick and I before the game, I know what's going on. Sometimes my body doesn't have enough talent to let me do what I want to do, but I know the game.
Listen to this crowd now.
5-minute mark, 12-point Tennessee lead. Mark it down, 5 minutes to go, 73-61. And you wonder if you're a Gator fan, if they can battle back one more time.
Billy Donovan's probably said himself, as Peyton sitting there with Coach Fulmer, saying, I can't believe my club allows the club to get 27 up on us before we start playing.
And the foul, I think they're going to call it on Horford. And that'll be his third. Al Horford.
It's going to get to a free throw shooting situation. You make free throws, you get out of here with the W.
Tennessee is not an exceptional free throw shooting team. As a club, they're 66%, but they do have some guys that can knock it down. Let's check in with Heather.
Tennessee not known as a great free throw shooting team all season long, but if today was any indication, at the line during shoot-arounds, Tennessee, believe it or not, made 49 consecutive free throws. Bruce Pearl was speechless and said this is either a really good omen or a really bad omen. So far, now 11 of 16 from the line for the ball.
Pretty good so far, Heather.
Almost as good as you, Heather. I mean, 49 in a row. Wow.
Here's Wayne Chisholm, who's had a tough night because of foul trouble, but the guy they call Wheezy because of his asthma problems is going to be a heck of a player in this league.
Yes, he is. He played high school with Willie Kemp. Outstanding guard now in Memphis for John Calipari.
75-61 and 24,000 on their feet again. Horford guarded by Chisholm. Right back from Green.
Little lob up to Noah.
And up and under. Nice move by Al Horford. That's his first field goal of the second half. And Tennessee's going to take a timeout. The backcourt pressure. Frustrated Tennessee just a little bit. 4:31 to go. 12-point advantage for Tennessee. The guy for Florida tonight has been Al Horford, including this last move. He's got 15 points, but it might not be enough tonight.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back. What are you doing in my car?
Wanna get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet specials, you can fly to over 60 destinations nationwide for just $49 to $169. Purchased by March 8th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Talking about.
Well, in the second half, Florida's done a better job. Tennessee has not scored that many. Welcome back, Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, Heather Cox. Okay, let's say this 12-point lead holds, partner. Do you bump Florida from number one?
No, I don't bump them. I'll tell you one thing. You look at their resume. If they beat Kentucky, I don't bump them. Now, if they lose this and lose to Kentucky at home, you bump them. You slide in Kansas. But I don't think it's going to happen. I really think you're going to see them beat Kentucky and play well in the postseason in the SEC tournament.
We're, of course, talking about number one seeds. They were number one in the country up until a week and a half or so ago, and now they've lost 2 of their last 3. They're trying to get a come-from-behind win. It would be a big comeback if they got it tonight, that's for sure.
They missed. Noah was wide open. Little lob to him.
Corey Brewer penetrates and scores.
He was wide open. They missed him.
Down to 10 again at the 4-minute mark.
I'll tell you one thing Billy's got to be proud of. They didn't quit. They didn't fold the tent. They kept challenging and playing.
And Horford blocks another shot. He and Noah between them had 100 block shots coming in. Horford has stuffed 3 tonight.
Just ask UCLA last year what they did to them in the national championship. They put a show on blocking shots. That UCLA team's going to be a threat this year. I love Aaron Aflalo. It's going to make my first-team All-American team.
Florida on a 23-10 run in the last 7.5 minutes. Chris Lofton is going to go to the free throw line as Corey Brewer picks up the foul.
You know what I like about Lofton? When his club is struggling, he puts the ball in his hands and says, I got to make something happen.
We'll see if he makes it happen from the free throw line when we come back.
They say family that prays together stays together, and one that walks apart just falls apart. So together we stand, divided we fall, united we form Voltron and take on all. Let's move. The second coming, yeah, the new beginning, yeah, the truth is speaking. You should listen. So glorious, victorious. We take what we want. We born warriors.
I slain the dragon and come for my reward.
Well done. This is for you.
This is all I get?
Terms and conditions state that you must slay a minimum 4 dragons before cash is earned. A tail must also be provided to prove that it is a dragon and not just a large lizard.
Is this how your Cash Rewards card treats you? Introducing No Hassle Cash Rewards. Earn cash on every purchase, everywhere, plus a 25% annual bonus.
Oh, you've qualified to marry my daughter.
What's in your wallet?
Our new dealership is open and ready to serve you. Now, more than ever, you'll get more at Ray Viles Ford. More selection, more service, more room, and more of the great deals that you expect at Ray Viles Ford. We've changed locations, but you'll still get the same quality service, the same honest value, and the same friendly people. Please come in and see our new facility, conveniently located off Interstate 75, exit 122, the North Clinton exit.
Knoxville, TVA employees, credit union.
Let's break it down.
You don't have to live in Knoxville to join.
You don't have to work at TVA either.
You will benefit from low loan rates on autos, trucks, RVs, boats, new homes, home equity line of credit, home renovation.
Free checking, convenient locations, free online banking, and more.
If you live, work, worship, or attend school in any of these counties, you can join the Knoxville TVA Employees Credit Union.
Maybe our name is a little confusing, but the benefits of membership are easy to see.
Join today and experience the difference.
Join us now.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. In the Mountain West, BYU goes to Air Force and they beat the Falcons on their home floor, ending. Now guess who holds that mark? BYU. They've won 30 straight at home. They're 22-7 on the season, 62-58 win.
All right, Reese, welcome back to Knoxville. Tennessee leads by 10, trying to cling to the lead now with 3:33 remaining in the ball game.
I tell you, some teams getting some quality wins. Syracuse over Georgetown. Jimmy Boeheim can relax now, be in a tournament.
Let's talk about Florida's resume.
Yes, sir. Look at that resume right there. Look at that Florida. Got that big win over Ohio State. Lost to Florida State. Played without, I believe Brewer didn't play in that game. Florida State got a tough break playing without Tony Douglas, but they hope to get him back for the tournament.
Brewer missed 3 games with mononucleosis.
Right.
Of course, Tennessee missed 4 games without this guy at the free throw line, Chris Lofton, and they lost 3 of those. In the meantime, their team, I think, and Bruce Pearl and I talked about this before the game, kind of grew up without him, and then when he came back, they had to learn how to play with him again, and now there's a lot of different options. As Dick said, everybody can shoot it. They try to get everybody involved, and they have done that tonight.
You know, they're 11th in the conference in terms of field goal percentage, but that's very deceiving. I'm going to tell you why it's deceiving. Because you factor in the three-point shot, right, and they use the 3 so often. It's unbelievable. Bruce a little bit upset now.
You know, I know what he's upset with. The PA announcer made an announcement right when Chris Lofton was shooting his free throw, and Bruce Pearl is saying, wait a minute, this is a home game. What in the heck are they thinking about? And it was very quiet in here crowd-wise, and it was very loud on the PA, and you could tell it was like somebody screaming at Tiger Woods when he's getting ready to take a shot.
He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like that. I don't think Chris Lofton liked it either. And Bruce Pearl, I know, didn't like it.
He didn't like the result either.
Brewer.
See, right now, going to be Noah. When he flashes to the ball, they miss him.
And Horford, an offensive foul, did he walk with it?
I see him a little frustrated right there, Noah, and I don't blame him. He flashes to the ball. Getting the ball to a post player is almost a lost art for guards.
Billy Donovan looking for the call. I didn't really see it. It's just a turnover. He walked with it, and Donovan not happy with that. So both coaches are a little heated right now.
Larry Shyatt right next to him has done a great job as an assistant with Billy, former head coach.
Lofton all the way in traffic. The kick out, 3-pointer by Smith. And nice position for the rebound by Chisholm, and Brewer's picked up his 4th foul.
Well, he had inside position. Brewer did not allow him. Brewer's got a nice hug of the referee.
Well, I'm not sure what Corey's case is there.
No case. No case. He fouled him. He had poor position. Hey, you know, I was looking up. I can't believe it. Show these alpha numbers now. Take a look right here. Look at Brilli. He's behind him. And he gives a little shove, and he gets caught. Hey, what about these numbers? 27 plus wins 25 times, 16 Final Fours, 6 NCAA titles, 940 wins. That's how you get a 4 named after
That's
you.
right. Florida in desperate need of a shot that goes, and that one doesn't, but that one will.
There's Horford again, just playing around the glass.
Down to single digits. Billy Donovan timeout with 2:41 to go.
Still not out of the woods. How about a kid like Humphrey who can knock down a 3 real quickly?
Billy Donovan talking things over with Pat Adams. And right now, both coaches really into this, and they know the importance of this game. 76-67 is down to single digits. It was 27 at one point. Florida has made a game, and as you said, you got to give them credit. They didn't quit.
Yeah, they didn't quit. They really came out. They challenged them down 27. You hear me right? 27. The Gators, the defending champs. But they got to start looking in the mirror, Brad, and say, we got to come to play right out of the gate. They were as flat, as lethargic as could be in a segment of that game and allowed Tennessee to dominate them.
Tennessee trying to go to 21-9 and 8-6. A lot more sports we're going to talk about with Steve Levy and John Anderson on SportsCenter. That follows us. Mavericks win their 13th in a row. Troy Smith, as he hurt his draft stock, and new plans for Michael Vick. I hope Bobby Petrino's come up with something for Mike.
And I hope some people realize Brady Quinn's going to be a heck of an NFL quarterback.
Sure he is.
The next Tom Brady. And anybody doesn't believe it, forget about it. He's a winner, man. He's a winner.
Spoken like a Notre Dame fan. Chisholm on it.
Oh, Chisholm on it. No, I'm hoping my Bucks get him. There's Chisholm. They're going to love those Caesar special, man. CQ. Cruz, Chisholm, and Chogius.
Brewer for three. It's off the mark. Rebound, tipped around, saved by Horford. Now Green for three. Boy, that would have been big. Brewer up over everybody.
I'll tell you one thing, he's going to make my All-SEC team. I love Corey Brewer.
He can do so many things so well.
Hey, defense. Tonight, though, he didn't play at the level he's capable on the defensive end. He's a much better defensive player than what he demonstrated tonight.
And Horford has to foul Bradshaw. And I'm sure that they have told the Florida players, if you can get a hand on Bradshaw because of those shoulders, he's only a 56% free throw shooter. And they're going to send him to the free throw line because it's going to be Hackadane if they can. But the way his night's been going, he'll probably knock these down.
Exactly. He's feeling it tonight, you know. Tell you what, a great personality. We talked to him before the game. Just a terrific young man. How good his coach gives a scholarship in his name. That's unbelievable.
They'll try to give his team a double-digit lead again if he can hit the second. And does.
Too much to overcome. 27 is just too much to overcome.
Torian Green, a little bit short on the three. His last three three-point attempts have been off the front of the iron.
It's going to be Rocky Top Tower at a campus here in Knoxville.
Horford is gone. He fouls out with 17 points.
It's going to be celebration time. The campus is going to be electric.
I beg your pardon. That's Horford's fourth, apparently. I thought that was 5. So he can stay in with a minute 42.
You're entitled to a turnover. We all have turnovers. I've had a few in my life.
I have about 18 a night. Florida's got 19 tonight. I'm one under the limit. Lofted at the stripe. And this time without the PA announcer making an announcement. He still missed the front end.
He's had some terrific games, though. He had 35 against Texas. He had 29 at Vanderbilt. 34 on Memphis.
And he missed them both. That is a rarity.
This coach saying, why? Why are you going to make me lose some hair?
Brewer against Lofton. And Bradshaw trying to come up with a steal and did.
Stepped right in that passing lane. Those are the intangibles we talked about. That's why they love him. That's why he gets playing time. His assist to turnover ratio is outstanding. His steals. He's what they call the glue guy, as SI called him. The captain of the all-glue team they picked. Mom says, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Well, if they win this one tonight, he'll be the Great Dane on campus. The only senior and the only guy introduced tonight in front of a 24,047 near record crowd. Dad's loving it.
Looked pretty good shooting that one. Tony Jones from out of Detroit, one of their assistants, told me, he said, you're going to like this kid. And he's right about that.
Got him both.
He's right about that. You've seen him like 5 times my first time.
I've seen him 2 years, probably 10 games in person. He's one of my favorites. I think he could have played any sport. Looks like a football player the way he plays and goes for every loose ball. Comes up with key offensive rebounds. He's had some great assists tonight. He won the Oklahoma State game earlier this year when he could barely raise his shoulders on a tip-in at the buzzer. I did that game. And
that's
now
what
here tonight with a minute and a half to go, he's given his team a 12-point lead again.
And that's what Oklahoma State was really playing well. Out of the gate, they played so well.
Torian Green's been kind of quiet tonight. 2 3-pointers and that free throw.
He's been quiet the last 3 games. They got to get Green and Humphrey going because they really set the tone for their offensive set. If they're making shots, they create angles inside to their big players.
And a foul on Green as Florida trying to do everything in their full court pressure to come up with a turnover as we're down under the minute and a half mark. So we walk to the other end for the free throws. Billy Donovan still coaching him up over there with Brewer and Noah on the bench.
I'll tell you what's really major when you talk about seeds. If you drop out of the top 2 and you go to number 3, now you're looking for trouble.
Yep.
Number 3s and number 4s begin to look for trouble.
Juwan Smith had another nice night.
Great story today in USA about Winthrop, and I think they're going to be a dangerous team. Greg Marshall's club. They've proven they can compete against even some of the giants. They went on a road with Wisconsin, lost a tough game in overtime, lost a good tough game to North Carolina.
Juwan Smith and Chris Lofton are the #1 scoring duo in the SEC. They're not going to hurt those numbers tonight because Lofton's got 20, and so far Smith's got 15. It stays that way as he missed the second.
Both guys, when you talk Smith, Juwan and Lamar, got superb quickness.
Oh, Torian Green from way over in front of us almost. Brewer, good cleanup. Corey's got 12. 9-point game again. And a quick foul as Humphreys forced to foul Ramar Smith.
Should be a lesson for them. Should have been a lesson against LSU. Get out rebound by 13 against a team without Big Baby. That should not happen. No way. Not with that personnel.
Last season, same story.
Yes, sir. Lost 3 in a row. Then won their next 11. Maybe they're thinking about that. Maybe that's part of their mindset.
Won the first 17 and the last 11 last year en route to the NCAA championship and a 33-6 record.
I had a chance this year to speak to their campus down there to the students. What a great time down at Gainesville. Hubert Meisel, Hall of Fame writer, was there with me, and I was teasing the crowd. I picked them #2, not #1. They're getting on my case, and I said, wait a minute. I only did it because your coach told me to pick you #2.
They're going to fall from #4 if they don't come back in the next 64 seconds. And Wayne Chisholm has fouled out.
And I'll tell you one thing, if they don't regroup come tournament time, they could be one of those clubs to get upset in the second round. I mean that. The way teams can shoot the 3 today.
The great equalizer, the 3-point shot.
Yes, sir.
Tonight it hasn't really fallen for Florida when they needed them. They put up a few.
You know, they get by the first round probably because of talent. But you get that at second round, you start playing some quality teams.
Chisholm goes with 9 points and 2 rebounds.
And this guy's got to assert himself for 40 minutes. Can't turn it on and off. I mean, he went through a spurt. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he played 21 minutes against LSU and only had 2 field goals. Tonight, he did have that thing going, and then all of a sudden he was on the bench. I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I think maybe he got a little tired and asked to come out.
So I was going to say 40 minutes. Maybe he's not going to go 40 minutes. He didn't tonight, that's for sure. Torian Green at the strike. And he doesn't miss many, an 87% free throw shooter.
You know, he was on the cover of almost every magazine, preseason, picked almost by everybody, most likely to be the National Player of the Year.
Green knew he was going to miss the second, or maybe he tried to, as he was chasing down the rebound, but it came to Tennessee instead, and we're under a minute.
They're not going to be denied, my friend. This is Tennessee. It's a W for the Vols of Tennessee. They keep marching on.
Tennessee last year swept South Carolina, who became the NIT champion. They swept Florida, who became the NCAA champion.
Wow,
and now they're getting ready to split with Florida this year. And the first time they didn't have Chris Lofton. Tonight they have him. There he is at the line with 20 points, trying to get on his average if he hits this one. And he has missed 3 free throws in a row and 4 of his last 5. And that's just not like Chris Lofton. And all his teammates know that. They're patting him on the head as if to say, dude, you do this every day. Just go knock him down and let's go home.
Mr. Kentucky in basketball, was a brilliant high school player.
Came in with 1,447 career points, which is 14th all-time at Tennessee. He's added 21 more tonight. And And we're down to the final 50 seconds, and it's Tennessee by 11.
28-01 is the record. Allen Houston, followed by Ernie Grenfell, Tony White, Reggie Johnson, and Dale Ellis, who can shoot it.
Bradshaw, another rebound. Tennessee, final 40 seconds. And for the 28th time in 31 games under Bruce Pearl, when they score 80 or more, they're going to win another ball game. And they're going to beat Florida in front of a crowd of 24,047. And Peyton says, that's the way we used to do it in football, too.
The Bernie Ernie show was here with special and the Ray Mears. I remember Ray Mears and Stu Aberdeen, two great guys.
And Bernie had his jersey retired the last time I was here as they put number 53 up in the rafters.
There it is right there, Bernard King. Ray Mears, terrific coach. Stu Aberdeen was a terrific assistant coach to him back in the early 70s and 60s.
Corey Brewer has fouled out, and now Dane Bradshaw is aware that his final appearance on the Thompson Bowling Arena floor is going to be in a winning effort in front of a near-record crowd and against the defending national champions. You want to go out in style, that's style.
Well, tomorrow will be senior night down at Cameron Indoor Stadium. They're 5-2 the last 7 years. 2 losses to North Carolina. They got Maryland coming in real hot right now. Gary Williams' club has played brilliantly. Strawberry had a phenomenal game against North Carolina. I can't wait. Those Cameron Crazies will be going bananas. I can guarantee you that tomorrow.
It's going to be a little warmer in there than it was in here tonight. Trust me. Well, Tennessee, I think, lost just a little bit of focus on the free throw line, but that's about it tonight. They're going to bring out their senior so he can get one more standing ovation.
Beautiful to see. Kid that really loves the uniform, his coaches, his players, his teammates all have such admiration and respect. Waving number 23. You don't have to be a star and score. There's Peyton Manning recognizing the great effort.
16-0, the Volunteers will be at home. 29-2 in the last 2 years. The last undefeated home season for Tennessee was 1976.
That's the Bernie Ernie show.
And they were 13-0 that year. It's going to be a more impressive 16-0 this season.
And they got an angry Florida team that arrived here after being really humiliated by LSU without Big Baby. But they met that challenge right out of the gate. They sent a message loud and clear, Tennessee, that we're going to be tough here tonight. 27-point lead.
And it's going to be roughly a 12-point win unless something dramatic changes here. Florida trying to go back up, and a possibility for a three-point play for Maurice Spates. Some of the guys that haven't seen a lot of work on the court are out there right now in the final 9.2 seconds.
Do you think, I ask you, Mr. Nessler, do you think that they're going to hear often from Billy Donovan and from the coaching staff? Well, we lost 3 in a row last year.
Yep.
We lost 3 in a row, we won 11. They'll go back and remind themselves of that.
And as you said, I think Billy's going to say, okay, we're going to watch film and we're going to look in the mirror and you guys tell me how come we lost the game. I think it's pretty obvious. Tennessee wins it by 10. And you know what? They're starting to expect a win around here. Some of the people thought they were going to rush the court. Well, they didn't want to lose 25 grand, but I think they're getting used to winning under Bruce Pearl, and that has more to do with it than anything else. 16-0, a perfect home season. 8-0 in SEC games here at Thompson Bowling Arena. And Dane Bradshaw goes out his final game in style with an 86-76 win over the defending national champions. So now Florida has lost 3 of its last 4. Tennessee has won 6 of its last 7. One team, are they going up and the other team going down? Well, the SEC tournament in about a week and 2 days might start to tell that story. But for tonight, it was the Tennessee Volunteers' time. 86-76 on a big crowd of 24,000 plus here in Knoxville. Don't forget, Sports Center is coming up next. Right now, for Dick Vitale and Heather Cox, I'm Brad Nessler. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Final score.
This is SportsCenter.
Looking to cook up a baker's dozen. See if Dirk Nowitzki and the red-hot Mavs made it 13 wins in a row in Minnesota. New head coach, new game plan for quarterback Michael Vick. Why defenses will need a new plan to stop number 7 on the Falcons next season. Move over number 99 did one of Wayne Gretzky's greatest records fall to Sid the Kid Tuesday night in Pittsburgh. And after a crippling disease robbed him of everything but his life, an amazing college hoops coach battles back. Oh, the Gators got trouble. Tennessee hosting 4th-ranked Florida in the final game of the season in Knoxville. First half, Tennessee up 16. Chris Lofton, who didn't play in a loss to Florida for Tennessee earlier this month, he likes it. Peyton Manning likes it. Lofton going to get some more. His team up 25 at that point, and they walk home 86-76. Third straight loss for the national champion Florida Gators. And that, my friends, is just a half of it.
Scaring me now.
Wait till you see Pat Summitt's answer to Bruce Pearl's body paint. The winningest coach in college basketball, she can sing. Welcome into SportsCenter on your television. A lot. Teamed with Steve Levy, I'm John Anderson. Thanks for having us.
Well, John, can't wait for that other half. But we begin with the NBA. The Mavericks have won 12 straight. That equals their second-best streak of the season, and that's without Reggie Miller. Owner Mark Cuban bringing up that possibility. But here's what we know for sure. The Mavericks have already become the first team in NBA history to have 3 12-game win streaks in a single season, and now they look for 13. While Dallas has been flat-out dominating opponents, only fair we point out that only 4 of the 12 games during this current win streak have come on the road. Mavs figure to get a mini road test against Kevin Garnett in Minneapolis. Now, keep in mind, a month ago, the Timberwolves did beat the Suns, ending Phoenix's 17-game win streak. Minnesota trying to become the second team this season to snap 2 12-game or more win streaks, the Wizards the other. Timberwolves down 15-7. Here's Kevin Garnett, nice fake. He didn't make many shots, just 5 of 16 shooting. He had 15. On to the second quarter, Timberwolves would struggle here. Mark Blount called for the charge. Marko Jaric, charge. Illegal screen. Blount. The Timberwolves only scored 9 points in the second quarter. Only 28 in the first half. 28 in the first half, he said. Randy Foye in the third quarter, the block on Jerry Stackhouse. We're going the other way. Foye fouled by Stackhouse and gets the circus shot to drop. And then in the fourth, Dirk fade away. He had 23. Minnesota with 65. That's 4 more than their fewest in franchise history. But this is about the Mavericks and more on what's becoming one of the great seasons in NBA history. They're having the best calendar month in the NBA since the Spurs went 16-0 March of '96. Monday, they beat the Hawks. Tuesday, the Timberwolves. Dallas a perfect 11-0 this season in the second game of back-to-backs. That's significant in the NBA. Remember that 0-4 start? Since then, they're 48-5, have now dropped 2 straight since November 8th. Only 5 teams in NBA history have had a better record with 25 games left on the schedule than the Mavericks this season. And here's the really good news for Dallas. All 5 of those teams went on to win the NBA title, the whole enchilada. Most recently, Michael Jordan's Bulls.
Quick celestial review. The sun rises in the east. Always check out Phoenix on the road against the Eastern Conference. 13-0, averaging nearly 113 points per game. 2-time MVP Steve Nash leading the way with 13 assists per contest. Basically what we're saying is Nicholas Copernicus rules. Suns up against the Pacers on Tuesday night. There's Nash, second quarter. Suns down 41-40, but Nash going to feed his buddy Sean Marion for the big slam, and the Suns 42-41. At the half, though, tight game. 1-point lead for the home team. Jermaine O'Neal, turnaround jumper. Pacers go up 9. O'Neal a game-high 28. Then Danny Granger sets sail for the rim. He gets there. Pacers go up 18. Biggest lead of the game. And now they're just going to roll home until they did. Nash. Spin dish to Raja Bell for the layup. Suns, 14-point game. Leandro Barbosa beats Marion. Big dump on the Matrix. Marion finishes with 22. And then Nash, 3-ball from the corner. And the Suns have their first lead since that second quarter lead. 90-88. And they just keep running away with it. Nash, another 3. He had 25 points, 11 assists. Suns, 103-92. They roll back from being down 18 in the third quarter. The Suns are awesome.
now 14-0 on the road against the East. They close out their Eastern road schedule Wednesday at Philly, looking to become the first team in NBA history to sweep their interconference road schedule. Suns 23-8 on the road. That's tops in the league. There are 7 teams that don't even have 23 wins for the entire season. So the Suns very good on room service and comfy pillows. And since that 1-5 start, the Suns have won 43 of their last 55 games. Not quite the Mavs, but they're keeping in touch.
All right, coming up, Inside Sports Center.
Ain't no smoggy smoke, no Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills.
Oh, yeah, returning men's coach Bruce Pearl's favor from earlier this season. See how Lady Vols coach Pat Summitt cheered on Tennessee, an unforgettable night in Knoxville. He won the Heisman by a landslide, but after the combine, the only thing sliding is Troy Smith's draft stock, how the former Buckeye star hurt his own value. And imagine if the Yankees traded Derek Jeter. A deal as shocking and controversial went down in another sport.
Uncertainty, I want to be in the warm heart of your love and mine, to feel you all around me and to take your hand along the sand. I bet I may as well try and catch the wind.
Capturing the wind and putting it to good use. Wind energy from GE. Some of the cleanest renewable energy on Earth.
The Nissan National Sales Race is on. That means record-breaking deals like a $179 lease on the all-new Nissan Sentra. 100,000 Nissans in one event. Get to your Nissan dealer now and start your savings.
Sports Center, brought to you by GE, Imagination at Work, and Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
The man painted himself orange. Navel to neck, orange is a traffic barrel. Roughly the same shape as well. And while Tennessee basketball coach Bruce Pearl's Sherwin-Williams show of support for the Lady Vols against Duke was admirable, it was also so shocking that the team fell behind 19-zip. Tuesday, with Pearl's club hosting defending national champ Florida, Pat Summitt planned to reciprocate the gesture. Revenge or payback, maybe. Given his dreamsicle sport coat, his sweat-stained suits, his undergraduate career as the BC mascot, let's pray Summitt didn't select anything out of Pearl's closet. Summitt, coach of the #2 team in the country, #1 fan of the boys Tuesday. Pearl glad she's on his side.
America's used to seeing Pat coach. They're used to seeing the stare. We know her in a different way. She's fun, she's light, and she's lively.